Chapter 422. Baya smiled awkwardly and wiped away her tears, but her eyes were still wet. She pretended to be calm and said, "I had a nightmare, I'm sorry." "You dreamed that I was dead," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing in surprise. "You kept shouting, Gu Lingqing, don't die," Gu Lingqing explained. Baya sat up and thought of the dream. Her heart still ached a little. She brushed the hair in front of her forehead and squinted at Gu Lingqing. "I dreamed that you were killed by a stone, and I also dreamed of Lu Shuang. Dreams are all the opposite. It just proves that I won't die. It's still early. Do you want to sleep for a while?" Gu Lingqing also sat up and looked at the time. It was only 5:45. Baya shook her head. "I used to wake up at this time. I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to cook breakfast and run in the morning. That's a good habit. I'll keep you company." Gu Lingqing also got up. Baya brushed her teeth and washed her face first. She put the rice in the rice cooker to cook porridge and went out for a run. Gu Lingqing quickly caught up. The two of them looked at each other and smiled. "Is it a race?" Baya asked. Gu Lingqing chuckled. "You're brave enough to challenge me. No one in the army can run faster than me." Baya ran backward and looked at him. "Mr. Gu, run backward. I'll run along. We'll go around the park and the finishing point will be the starting point." Gu Lingqing smiled and agreed readily. "Okay." Baya sprinted forward and Gu Lingqing followed beside her. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. She didn't expect him to run so fast even though he was running backward. It seemed that he was waiting for her on purpose. She sped up and Gu Lingqing still followed beside her. She ran for 100 meters and couldn't run anymore. She gradually slowed down. Gu Lingqing played along. He also slowed down and stayed by her side. Her heart was filled with warmth as she looked at him with a smile. It's easier to conserve energy by running at a constant speed. "You should sprint at the end," Gu Lingqing suggested. "I admit defeat, okay? Ignorance is bliss. Come and run, let's run together," Baya said with a smile. Gu Lingqing turned around. He originally wanted Baya to win, but she should have seen that he deliberately let her win. Between lovers, there was no need to care about winning or losing. Her smile was his greatest trophy. The two of them ran 10 laps around the park before Baya stopped to rest. Panting slightly, she wiped the sweat off her body and turned to look at Gu Lingqing. He stood under the tree and looked at her deeply, the corners of his mouth slightly raised. "I know an ancient temple that has more than 300 years of history. I heard that it's very accurate. I want to go there, but it's a little far. Will it affect your work?" Baya said worriedly. "No, I'll get someone to drive the limousine over. When you're in the limousine, you can still rest for a while." The ancient master only tells 3 people every day, but not everyone. It depends on fate. We're just trying our luck. So, even if it's our turn, he might not tell us. Gu Lingqing asked Baya. Baya nodded. "If he doesn't tell us, it's not too late to burn incense and pray for blessings." Gu Lingqing did not say anything. He did not believe in this, but as long as Baya believed in it, he would accompany her. Even if he did not say anything, he felt that it was meaningful to be by her side. The line in front was moving very fast. It should be the ancient master who did not tell anyone. Soon, it was Baya's turn. Baya went in first. Gu Lingqing followed. He was stopped by a young novice monk. "Almsgiver, the ancient master only tells one person at a time. Even if you're together, you can only tell one person at a time." Baya looked back at Gu Lingqing and smiled. "I'll be done in a while." Gu Lingqing nodded. He watched Baya walk in and stood aside patiently. Baya walked in. First, she passed a vestibule. She lifted the black curtain and smelled the fragrance of wormwood. Sitting in front of her was a very young man. Chapter 423. He looked at her and smiled. You've changed your appearance and been reborn, but you still can't change your fate. Miss, please take a seat. Baya was slightly stunned. She actually knew that every famous quack was an expert in micro-expressions. They could judge from a person's expression, and they could also listen to useful information from the other party's words. However, to be able to accurately say that she had changed her appearance and was reborn, she was still very surprised. She sat in front of the Master Gufa. The Master Gufa handed her a brush. Write down a word and tell me, what do you want to test? Baya took the brush from the Master Gufa and wrote down a word on the rice paper. She put down the brush and said in a deep voice, I want to know how to change bad luck and let myself and my lover be safe. The Master Gufa looked at the word written by Baya. Man can conquer nature. Miss, you actually have your own idea. You study psychology, so you should be able to control other people's hearts. If you can control other people's hearts, what can't you do? Baya looked at the Master Gufa in surprise. She had changed her appearance and looked different from the previous Baya. The previous Baya had appeared in various major news magazines, so it was normal for him to know that she studied psychology. However, when she appeared as Wu Nian, he could be so sure that he didn't need to test her. Indeed, she was shocked. You mean, if I do what I want, I can let my lover and I be safe? Baya continued to ask. The Master Gufa smiled. You killed too many people in your previous life, which made you who you are. You stepped on many corpses to stand under the sun, so in this life, you will experience many setbacks. However, it doesn't matter. You are originally a person above others, and it is inevitable that you will be stained with blood. The important thing is, don't leave a trace. If you don't do it cleanly, you will disappear from this world. Baya's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean by it is inevitable that I will be stained with blood? What do you mean by unclean? I will disappear from this world. What are you hinting at? Speak clearly, speak clearly. There are many things that need to be experienced by benefactor. That's all I know. Grandmaster Gufa's expression did not change. Baya stood up and glared at him sternly. I know that fortune-tellers like you like to say ambiguous things and let others deceive you. In fact, you're just using your language skills. It doesn't count. Grandmaster Gufa smiled. If benefactor doesn't believe me, why come to my place? But you didn't tell me what I wanted to know. I only know how to predict fate. I'm not a deity who can predict the past and the future, and I don't have the ability to change everything. What you want to know, I've already told you the direction based on fate. As for the specifics, it all depends on how you go. How? You're right. I need to leave no trace in order to be safe and sound. But how can I leave no trace? Master Gufa is nothing but a fraud. Baya spoke harshly and turned around. Benefactor, please wait. Grandmaster Gufa stood up. Baya cast a sidelong glance at him. He smiled. You're an expert in psychology. As expected, you live up to your reputation. I'm impressed. Baya frowned. He asked suspiciously, you know me? I'm just guessing based on fate. I don't know you, benefactor. Grandmaster Gufa said gently. Baya pulled the chair back and sat down again. Now, I really want to hear what you mean by fate. Grandmaster Gufa also sat down and pointed at the word fate on the paper. All in all, benefactor relies on mouth for a living. When you came in, you looked at me as if you had seen through it. Because you felt that I was judging based on micro-expressions, and micro-expressions are your forte. The word next to the mouth is jia. It refers to the proof of someone with status. In other words, you're in this industry. You've received great honors. However, mouths also represent people. You are stepping on people with status, and these people with status have been buried in the yellow earth. If you leave a mark, then there will be a little bit of life on the word, but this word doesn't have it. Grandmaster Gufa explained. You judged it from the words I wrote. Baiyo was suspicious. Grandmaster Gufa smiled but didn't say anything. What if I rewrite a word now? Baiyo picked up the pen. Life can't be repeated. It's useless no matter how many words you write, Grandmaster Gufa said casually. Baiyo paused and put down the pen. She slowly stood up and looked at Grandmaster Gufa before turning around. Benefactor, remember to leave from the back door. Grandmaster Gufa reminded. Why? Baiyo didn't understand. Your husband doesn't believe in such things. If you leave from the front door, why would he be willing to come in? Grandmaster Gufa said confidently. This person's predictions were too accurate. It made Baiyo suspect that there were surveillance cameras here. Otherwise, how could his predictions be so accurate? She walked out with her head down. In her mind, she kept recalling what Grandmaster Gufa said, you're a person above others, so it's inevitable that you'll be stained with blood. The most important thing is not to leave any traces. If you don't do it cleanly, you'll disappear from this world. Stained with blood. Disappear from this world. She sat on the wooden chair under the ginkgo tree at the back door and stared blankly at the incense burner. The smoke curled up and slowly rose into the sky. After an unknown period of time, Gu Lingqing came out from inside. She saw that Gu Lingqing didn't look too good. She stood up nervously and walked to Gu Lingqing. She held Gu Lingqing's arm. Gu Lingqing looked at her pitifully and didn't say anything. What did he say to you? Baiyo asked worriedly. I don't believe anything a charlatan says, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. What he meant was that what Grandmaster Gufa said to him was something he didn't want to hear. That was why he was depressed. Baiyo saw through it but didn't say anything. She asked, what did you write? Baiyo's Bai, Gu Lingqing said faintly and held Baiyo's hand. Let's go and burn some incense. Okay. She didn't ask any further. She bought some incense and paid for it with Gu Lingqing. She prayed devoutly and burned the incense. She looked at Gu Lingqing. He lowered his head and closed his eyes. He seemed to be chanting something. There was some sadness shrouding him. He was more devout than her. She remembered that he didn't believe in these things. She felt a little bitter in her heart. That proved that what Grandmaster Gufa said to him was not good. Not good at all. So, he was actually afraid. Such a tough man actually had times when he was afraid. Her heart was very soft. She held Gu Lingqing's cold hand and smiled. She would do everything to protect him. Even if her hands were stained with blood, she wouldn't care. When she was an angel, she saved the dying, helped the injured, and delivered babies. God had never been kind to her. Chapter 424. They had dinner at the temple. When they got home, it was already 16 p.m. Baiyo was cooking in the kitchen while Gu Lingqing was working in the study. After she finished cooking, she took a look at the study upstairs and went out with her phone and trash. She threw the trash bag away and walked to the big pagoda tree to make a call. Alan, I want to find some mercenaries. Can you help me contact them? Baiyo asked directly. Yes, of course. What kind of mercenaries do you want? Alan said softly. He did not ask what she wanted the mercenaries for. He would give them to her if she wanted them. The best. I want 5 of them. Ask them to call me when you find them. I will transfer the cost to their card when the time comes, Baya said in a deep voice. Okay. How are you? Alan asked with concern. Well, I'm fine. How about you? Baya asked casually. Ha. Alan chuckled. I don't think I'm doing well. What's wrong? Baya asked with concern. I don't have a fiancé now and my family is pressuring me. I feel pressured at home. So, I might come to your place in advance. Is that okay? Alan sighed. Of course. Let me know when you are coming. I will pick you up at the airport, Baya said sincerely. Alan had helped her a lot. He never asked for anything in return and never forced her. She just hoped that Alan would be well. Then we will contact each other when you are here. I will hang up first. My grandmother is calling me. Sigh. I don't think anything good will happen. Fortunately, she is not my girlfriend. Otherwise, I will be annoyed to death, Alan joked. Baya thought of Alan's grandmother. She smiled. When you are with her, you find her annoying. When you are not with her, you start to miss her. People are like this. You should cherish them. Well, that makes sense. He. I will hang up now, Alan said politely. Okay. After Alan hung up, Baya kept her phone and walked into the house. Gu Lingqing was looking for her. Where did you go? I was just about to call you out for dinner, said Baya with a smile. He washed his hands and scooped the rice without batting an eyelid. Gu Lingqing came over to take the bowl. Let's go to the movies tonight. There's a good movie recently. Sure, Baya agreed readily. He pulled out his chair and sat down to eat. He looked at Gu Lingqing. He didn't make a sound as he ate. He had cultivated himself for a long time. Even when he ate, he hated to look good. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing asked. If we have a daughter, the daughter will look like you, and she will also be very beautiful, Baya said with a smile. Gu Lingqing smiled. Then I'll work hard. Baya's face was slightly red as she picked up a piece of pork for him. He lowered his head to eat. This feeling of eating was very blissful. After dinner, she went to wash the dishes. Gu Lingqing followed her into the kitchen to help her. I can do it alone, said Baya. I like to be with you, said Gu Lingqing in a deep voice. Gu Lingqing, Baya called out. Yeah. She looked at him. I'm still worried when I think about working at your company. Can you give me another week? I said I'm asking you to work at my company, but it's actually just a casual job. The main thing is that you can have an identity in the company. You don't have to worry. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to do it, comforted Gu Lingqing. I want to take my job seriously, Gu Lingqing. You'll spoil me too much. Gu Lingqing smiled. He looked at her with a smile in his eyes. I'm just afraid that I'm not good enough to you and let you run away again. I won't run away anymore. I'll be wherever you are. Even if I die, I'm still Gu Lingqing's ghost. I'll still be there wherever you are, said Baya with a smile. That's good. All right then, I'll wash the dishes from now on. Baya pursed her lips and smiled. She didn't reply to him and washed the dishes together. After they were done, they went out to watch a movie. Gu Lingqing drove. She booked a seat and went to watch the movie at 8:50 p.m. It was still early when they reached the cinema. Gu Lingqing went to buy some food while Baya waited in the lounge. What a coincidence. We can bump into each other while watching a movie. Do you think this is fate? Su Jiran's voice was heard. Baya turned her head. Su Jiran was standing behind her with a box of popcorn. Beside him was Tian Tian. She didn't expect Su Jiran to adopt Tian Tian. Indeed, it's not an ordinary fate. We can see each other every day. Is this a coincidence or on purpose? Bai Ye's lips twitched as she asked. Do you think I'm following you? Su Jiran smiled evilly. I believe that Mr. Su doesn't have a hobby of masochism, Bai Ye replied bluntly. I've been thinking, who are you? Who do you work for? How do you know so many things? Su Jiran asked suspiciously. No matter how much I know, I can't compare to even 1/10,000th of what Mr. Su knows. However, I think I happen to know one thing that Mr. Su wants to know the most, Bai Ye said with certainty. What do I want to know the most? Su Jiran continued to ask. Bai Ye's lips twitched. She didn't say a word and walked out. Su Jiran grabbed Bai Ye's arm. Just as his hand touched Bai Ye, it was grabbed by a stronger force. Gu Lingqing shook off Su Jiran's hand and said coldly, stay away from her. Su Jiran looked at Gu Lingqing suspiciously and looked at the calm Bai Ye. He said in disdain, Gu Lingqing's love for women is nothing more than this. I wonder if Bai Ye is still alive. Gu Lingqing didn't want to bother with him. He held Bai Ye's hand and walked into the cinema. With a cold face, he walked to the back seat in the middle and sat down. He placed the plastic bag in his hand into Bai Ye's hand and looked at the screen with a gloomy expression. Bai Ye saw that he was unhappy. She ate a popcorn and said with a flattering smile, it's delicious. Do you want it? Gu Lingqing looked at Bai Ye with a pale face. Did you ignore what I told you before? I told you to stay away from Su Jiran in the future. What if I wasn't here just now? I was already walking away. He was the one who held my hand. Gu Lingqing frowned. Do you think that I don't know anything? Since I know that you are Bai Ye, I will definitely send someone to protect you. I know your every move. Bai Ye's face turned red. Including every word she said. Or did he only know what she had done? If I leave when I see him, it will make him suspicious. Bai Ye explained, I have to pretend to be very different from Bai Ye. Gu Lingqing held her hand. The more you say, the more mistakes you will make. The best way to hide is to keep him away from you. Bai Ye nodded. She knew that what Gu Lingqing said was right. However, her current purpose was not to make Su Jiran unable to recognize her. Instead, she wanted to know who was behind Gu Lingqing through Su Jiran. Chapter 425. The movie was very good. It was a hot-blooded patriotic action movie, mainly about the male lead thinking that his fiancée had died, so he went to Africa and gave up. In the end, there was a war, and he stood up for the country in his own name, saving the people who were trapped. There was a scene in the middle that made Bai Ye's heart ache. The male lead was infected with a virus, and when he was unconscious, he dreamed of his fiancée. He held the bullet that went through his fiancée tightly, crying, "You didn't come back." When she saw this scene, she cried. Tears blurred her eyes, and everything she saw was hazy. Tears kept flowing, and it was very sad. After she left, Gu Lingqing was even more depressed than him. She drank, smoked, and was hospitalized. If she didn't come back in the future, she didn't dare to think about it. She leaned on Gu Lingqing's shoulder. The future was too far, and she couldn't think about it, nor could she control it. All she could do was cherish the present. After watching it, Bai Ye felt like it was not enough. It's really good, I really want to watch it again. Then let's come back tomorrow. These kinds of films that promote patriotism should be filmed more, Gu Lingqing said dotingly. Are you hungry? Bai Ye asked, taking the initiative to hug Gu Lingqing's arm. Let's go for supper. What do you want to eat? Let's go to the buffet. There should be a place that specially serves supper. I'll check on the internet. She opened the mobile data on her phone, went on the app, entered the supper buffet, and intelligently selected nearest. There really were a lot of places. I know where it is, follow me. Baiya pulled Gu Lingqing's hand and walked. Gu Lingqing smiled and followed beside her. It was almost 11 p.m. Other than those who were watching the movie, there were occasionally cars passing by, but it was empty and very quiet. The light from the street lamp fell on the two of them, leaving a pair of shadows on the ground. They walked for 10 minutes, and no one spoke, but they didn't feel lonely or bored. When they passed by the bridge, a gust of wind blew over. Baiya looked at the lake. I remember our life on the island. Me too, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baiya smiled. That crab is really delicious. Bamboo shoots stewed with wild boar is also delicious, Gu Lingqing continued Baiya's words. If you like, we can stay there for 2 days this weekend. Sure. She picked up her phone and glanced at the map. It was nearby. She stretched her neck and looked forward. She saw it. There. Yes. As they walked towards the big sheep restaurant, Baiya's phone rang. Seeing that it was an unfamiliar foreign number, she guessed that it was a mercenary hired by Alan to answer the call. Hello, we are Silver Flame. Someone said that you need us, the other party said in English. Yes. Give me your email address. I will email you the details later. Baiya said simply and then hung up the phone. Who is it? Gu Lingqing was suspicious. Baiya took a deep breath and looked at Gu Lingqing. Her eyes were watery and she explained calmly, Lu Shuang is missing. I asked someone to look for her. It might be a good thing that she disappeared. No news is good news. Usually, if you find her, others will find her too, Gu Lingqing reminded. I'm afraid that I won't even know what happened to her. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's eat first. Baiya didn't want to say more, afraid that Gu Lingqing would see through her. She pulled him into the restaurant and brought out a lot of food, filling up the table. Can you eat so much? Gu Lingqing was doubtful. Baiya put the lamb roll into the hot pot. I still have you, right? Gu Lingqing smiled lovingly and answered softly, yes. Halfway through her meal, Baiya looked around. She used to not eat at this late hour. When she was hungry, she would stay hungry for the whole night. Then, she got used to it. She didn't expect that there would be so many people coming out for supper in the middle of the night. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing asked. Food is the sky. How vast is the sky here? Baiya said jokingly. Gu Lingqing chuckled. As long as you want, I can make our sky more vast than theirs. I can make you fat so that there won't be so many people thinking about you. You mean that when I was fat, no one thought about me? Are you judging people by their appearance? Baiya narrowed her eyes. If I judged people by their appearance, I wouldn't have forced myself on you at that time. Baiya blushed. So you know that you used force. Gu Lingqing looked embarrassed. She cleared her throat and promised, I will treat you well. Yes, Baiya replied. She believed him. After the meal, they were too full. They walked back to the cinema together. The car was parked there. There were fewer people on the road. The weather in October was very cold at night, especially after coming out from the warm hot pot restaurant. Gu Lingqing took off his coat and wrapped it around her. Baiya looked at him. He was only wearing a suit, but it didn't reduce his handsomeness at all. It added a layer of warmth to him. Gu Lingqing, it's an hour-and-a-half drive back. It's too far. You still have to work tomorrow. Let's stay in a hotel today. Baya suggested. Yes, he said indulgently. Stay near here. Baya waved her phone. Let me look for it. She searched for a hotel nearby on her app. There's one near the cinema. Let's go there now. Okay. Gu Lingqing put his arm around her waist and pulled her to his side. The two of them went there together. In the morning, when she woke up, Gu Lingqing hadn't woken up yet. He was also tired last night. After all, he was the one who did all the work. She tiptoed to the bathroom, turned on her phone, logged into her email, and saw the email sent by the mercenary. Your friend has already paid the advance. Don't worry, we've never failed before. We'll arrive in country A at 1936 country time tomorrow. What do you need us to do? Baya replied the email. After replying, she brushed her teeth, washed her face, and left the bathroom. Gu Lingqing woke up. He got off the bed and kissed her on the forehead. Wait for me, I'll accompany you for your morning jog. It's okay if you don't go for a morning jog today. You can rest for a while more. Baya felt sorry for him. Then let's have breakfast together, Gu Lingqing said gently. Baya nodded. He went into the bathroom. She walked to the window and looked downstairs. Gu Lingqing said that he had sent someone to protect her in secret. It should be someone from the shadows. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to find out. If she wanted to act alone, she would have to ask someone from the shadows to follow her. What are you thinking about? Gu Lingqing put his arm around her waist from behind. Are the people from the shadows outside? Baya asked directly. Yes, they've always been here. Don't worry. Gu Lingqing didn't deny it. Where are they? In the car. Or on the road? Baya was suspicious. Chapter 426. Baya's heart skipped a beat. What he meant was that no matter where she was or what she was doing, he would have a rough idea. It was impossible for her to hide anything from him. No wonder, she always felt that Gu Lingqing knew a lot. Gu Lingqing looked down at her and continued, I bought this third eye for you. I don't believe that you're dead, so I thought that as long as you appeared somewhere in country A, I would be able to find you immediately. However, I don't have money, so I could only take over the family business. Baya lowered her eyes. Her heart felt sour and warm at the same time. She felt warm because Gu Lingqing had done everything for her. She felt sour because she was useless and couldn't protect him. She reached out and hugged Gu Lingqing. She took a few deep breaths and imprinted Gu Lingqing's smell in her mind forever. Gu Lingqing smiled slightly and hugged her shoulders. Are you hungry? It's weird. I ate so much last night, but now I feel even hungrier than usual, Baya said with a smile. Eat more. You'll gain some weight. He hugged her and walked. Okay, Baya replied. They went to the restaurant together. Breakfast was buffet. Our dog seems to be really pitiful. We have a feast here, but it doesn't even have breakfast, Baya said apologetically. I'll send a part-time worker over today to clean up, take care of Xiao Bai, buy groceries, and so on. You don't have to work so hard. It won't affect our daily life, Gu Lingqing suggested. You always think more thoroughly than me. Baya poured some milk into a cup while Gu Lingqing stood beside her. Gu Lingqing, what are you going to do next? After all, Xia He's case will be heard at any time, Baya asked tentatively. Gu Lingqing also poured some milk. I have already sent people to S country. First of all, we have to confirm the authenticity of this matter, and get the evidence, otherwise, once Xia He goes to court, even if she says it, no one will believe it. She will also put herself in danger, since she is not a spy. You must ensure her safety. But even if we go to S country to investigate, we won't be able to find out who the mastermind is, right? What are you going to do about this? Baiyo was worried. They are very cautious in their work, and they don't reveal anything. Even if I suspect them, I can't find any clues. I can only wait for an opportunity, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. She did not like the word waiting, because, before the opportunity came, he was too dangerous. However, she didn't say anything. Besides, she wouldn't get any results just by pressuring Gu Lingqing. I think the fried noodles here are pretty good. I'll go get some. Baiyi changed the topic. She took a plate of fried noodles, soup dumplings, and some vegetables and found an empty seat to sit down. Gu Lingqing took 2 plates, one with chicken salad, and the other with sandwiches. This chicken salad is pretty good. Baiyi asked doubtfully. Zhang Xingyu saw that Baiyi was worried, so he said patiently, "We have the third eye. There will be 4 people in the surveillance room. There will be 1 more person. Yesterday, there were 2 people. They were in the hotel yesterday and followed us to the company. When I arrived, they could go back and rest because they were on the night shift last night. After I came and sent you home, there were 3 dark shadows people at your house to protect your safety at all times. 3. What if there are a few hundred of them? A few hundred. It's such a big commotion. We've already monitored them when they first set off. There are quite a lot of Ing. Don't worry, President Gu will definitely protect you, Zhang Xingyu said confidently. Then, what if I ask you to let me go now? Will there still be people protecting me? They will be here in 10 minutes. During this time, I will protect you, Zhang Xingyu said with a smile. Chapter 427. Stop the car at the entrance of the wet market. I'm going to buy some groceries, Baiyi said. Alright, I didn't expect you to cook. No wonder President Gu likes you so much. Zhang Xingyu smiled. Baiyi looked at him. Did you get to where you are now by flattering others? Something like that. Zhang Xingyu was not angry. He smiled and said. Baiyi smiled and felt apologetic. She should not have vented her anger on an innocent person. Zhang Xingyu stopped the car at the parking lot near the wet market and accompanied Baiyi to buy groceries. She bought a caddy of silver thread noodles, 2 caddies of chicken wings, a caddy of shrimps, cucumbers, cabbage, and chicken broccoli. When she passed by a fishing gear store, she bought a fishing rod and 2 black goldfish. You made so many delicious dishes today. Zhang Xingyu helped Baiyi carry the groceries. Yes, do you want to stay for dinner tonight? Baiyi asked gently. Zhang Xingyu blushed. No, thanks. President Gu must have other things for me to do. I won't disturb the 2 of you. Then I'll treat you to dinner another day. Baiyi was referring to the people in the dark shadows. It would be easier to discover their secrets if she knew their faces. Okay. Zhang Xingyu replied happily. He sent her back to the villa. Baiyi put the groceries in the kitchen, fed the dog with dog food, and let the dog out to play. The dog was very happy that it was not in the cage. It ran around Baiyi. Baiyi went back to the kitchen. After cleaning the prawns, she cooked them in water. While cooking the prawns, she divided the noodles into 5 small packets and put them in the refrigerator. Then, she marinated the chicken wings. As soon as the water boiled, she scooped up the prawns and splashed them with cold water. She quickly let the prawns cool and drain the water. Then, she sealed them with plastic wrap and put them in the refrigerator. After cleaning, she had a simple meal of noodles and a poached egg at noon. After eating, she took a small spatula and a plastic bag to the ground at the back door to catch 5 earthworms. Then, she took a fishing rod to the park's lake to fish. She guessed that this park should belong to Gu Lingqing. She was the only one in the entire park. He looked around and didn't find anyone from the dark shadow. As she basked in the sun and fished, she picked up her phone and sent an email to the mercenary. Gu Lingqing has the third eye. You must be careful not to be photographed when you work. You can hide in an unmonitored area and contact him by email. After sending it, she deleted the email and looked at the surface of the lake. The buoy was being dragged violently. She immediately pulled out the pole. It was a very big black carp. It was estimated to be more than 20 kilograms. Baiye smiled. His luck was pretty good. She spent a lot of effort to get the fish into the bucket. Then, she stopped fishing and called Gu Lingqing. Do you know what I'm doing? Baiye asked happily. Gu Lingqing noticed that she was in a good mood, so he smiled slightly. I'm fishing. I just caught a black carp. It's very big, Baiye said with a smile. It seems that I'm going to have a good meal tonight. I still remember that the black carp you made is very delicious, Gu Lingqing said with a smile. Yeah, I'm going home to make fish now. Do you want to call your friend over? The two of us can't finish it. I'll get home at about 17 o'clock. But don't be too tired. Gu Lingqing felt sorry for her. I won't be tired from doing this little housework. I'll wait for you. Baiye hung up the phone and reeled in the fishing line. A black shadow appeared behind her. She was shocked. She turned around and was shocked again. The man in front of her had disguised himself as a rock. His face couldn't be seen clearly. The chief asked me to help you carry the bucket, the man said honestly. He scared her. She was a little embarrassed and picked up the bucket. Do you usually hide here? Baiye asked tentatively. No, it's a moving rock. I put rocks everywhere, the man explained. Baiye laughed. Putting rocks everywhere. It's so funny. Isn't it very hard? There are many mosquitoes in the summer, right? Baiye asked. It's not hard. At least I can lie down, sit, and change various positions. There's a tree over there. Usually, I can only stand, he said happily. Tree. There's another one. What's it for? Baiye took the opportunity to ask. The man just laughed and didn't answer. Baiye saw that he didn't want to answer, so she didn't continue to ask, lest he got suspicious. After a while, they arrived at the door of her house. Come in and sit for a while. Thank you for your hard work. Baiye opened the door. It's okay. The man put down the bucket and ran away quickly. It was really a moving rock. She entered the house and went to the kitchen to clean the big black carp. She was very curious. Where would the other one hide and what was he wearing? Soon, she cleaned the fish and prepared the fish head. Half an hour later, she started to stew the soup. The middle part was marinated and steamed. The other part was braised. After deboning, she chopped it into mud. A part was made into fish balls, a part was made into fried fish steak, and the tail part was made into grilled fish. She put cucumber, cabbage root, and some prawns into the grilled fish. Just as she finished grilling the fish, she heard the sound of cars parking outside. It seemed like there was more than one car. She washed her hands and ran to the door. Gu Lingqing came over. Beside him was Zhang Xingyu, carrying braised food. One was Ling Tong. She had seen him when she met Xia He. She didn't know the other one. He was also a man. Thank you for your hard work, Gu Lingqing said gently. Baiye smiled. It's not hard at all. It's to serve the people. Are you guys drinking today? I'm done grilling fish. You guys can eat first. Okay. Gu Lingqing held Baiye's hand and entered the house. Zhang Xingyu carried the braised food to the kitchen. Bai Ye let go of Gu Lingqing's hand and looked at Zhang Xingyu. I'll get you a bowl. Thank you, Zhang Xingyu said with an honest smile. You can go eat with them. I'll be fine here. Bai Ye took out the bowl. I'll help you here. Zhang Xingyu said uncomfortably. It's okay. You can't help me much even if you stay here. They need someone to take care of them when they're sitting together. Bai Ye saw through him. Zhang Xingyu scratched his head. You're right. Then I'll take the fish head soup and grilled fish out first. It's too hot and heavy. He carried the fish soup out respectfully. Bai Ye also put the braised food in the bowl and carried it out. The fish was done. She also made shrimp with ingot, cola chicken wings, stir-fried cabbage leaves, and stir-fried chicken cabbage. After everything was done, she sat next to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing held her hand and looked at her with a gentle gaze. This glass of wine is for sister-in-law. I'm sorry for not being a good host before. Lang Ningqing apologized. It's okay. Bai Ye poured herself a glass of wine. Gu Lingqing snatched her glass and explained, she's preparing for pregnancy. She can't drink for now. I'm sorry. No wonder the chief didn't drink just now. I'll drink this glass. I hope you guys will have children soon. Lang Ningqing drank all the wine in the glass. Chapter 428. Him. Who? Bai Ye looked at Gu Lingqing in confusion. It's best if it doesn't become a big deal. So, we need you to report it directly and let the higher-ups make a decision first, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. If we report it, I'm afraid the person behind the scenes will know too. It'll be harder to find him again, Ling Shuang suggested. At least, after everyone knows, Xia he will be released and her life won't be in danger. She has been wandering for many years. It's time to prove her innocence. Gu Lingqing made up his mind. But in this way, it'll be hard to get rid of the danger to the chief. Ling Shuang was worried. No, after the people above know about it, they will investigate it thoroughly. The person behind the scenes is a very cautious person. The more cautious he is, the more careful he is, the less he will act. Maybe the people above can really investigate and find some clues. Gu Lingqing analyzed. What about him? Let him go. Anyway, there's a video. He won't dare to act rashly, Gu Lingqing ordered. Okay. That person took the order. He drank the liquor in one gulp and looked at Bai Ye. Bai Ye felt that his eyes were too sharp as if he wanted to see through her mind. When have you decided to get married? Because of some special circumstances, it's a secret marriage for now. When the wedding banquet is held, we'll definitely invite everyone, Gu Lingqing explained. The relationship between you and your father hasn't eased yet. Ling Shuang asked worriedly. That's his character. There's no such thing as easing or not. Eat more. I caught this fish in the lake. It's very delicious. Gu Lingqing changed the topic. They didn't say anything, afraid that the air would suddenly become quiet. Zhang Xingyu also saw it. He broke the silence with a smile. This fish is so delicious. It's more delicious than any fish I've ever eaten. How did you make it? It's flour mixed with cheese and fried with butter. The fish is the freshest, Bai Ye explained. Did Miss Wu live abroad before? Ling Shuang asked suspiciously. I stayed there for a while, Bai Ye said vaguely. No wonder you like butter cheese. It's high in calories, and foreigners like it a lot. Ling Ying took a bite of the fish steak. But it's really delicious. Regardless of the fish steak, this grilled fish is delicious too. Miss Wu, have you learned cooking before? Zhang Xingyu complimented. No. Maybe it's because the fish is fresher. After Baya answered, nobody spoke again. The atmosphere became cold again. Ling Shuai put down his chopsticks, looked at Gu Lingqing, and asked, "Chief, when are you going back to the military?" Gu Lingqing also put down his chopsticks. "I'm still talking to Shen Yan about this matter. Once there's a decision, I'll let you know immediately. I heard a rumor that Shen Yan is keeping a mistress outside. This matter will affect the next presidential election. If you return to the military region, you should be able to become the president. After all, you were a popular candidate in the past. Coupled with the power of the Gu family, if you operate well these 2 years, you will definitely become the president." Ling Shuai said painstakingly. An idea flashed in Bai Ye's mind. "Gu Lingqing, I've been thinking why someone wants to harm you. Why not earlier or later, but recently? Could it be related to the possibility of you becoming the president?" Gu Lingqing looked at Bai Ye, and his eyes darkened. "Well, it seems to make sense. As soon as something happened to Shen Yan, someone started to deal with President Gu." Zhang Xingyu agreed with Bai Ye's words. "They don't want you to be the president because you're a threat to those who can be the president. They need to get rid of you as soon as possible. Shen Yan is one, Su Zhang is another. Who else is the popular candidate in the last election?" Bai Ye asked Gu Lingqing. "Shen Yan, Su Zhang, Lin Shutong, Zhou Chuani, and Xing Dongqing. It should be these 5, Ling Shuai said with familiarity. "Think about it. Should we start with these 5? Bai Ye suggested. Qing Qian, have someone pay close attention to these 5 people." "Yes, sir." Qing Qian stood up and saluted, full of passion. Bai Ye looked down, hoping that they were heading in the right direction this time. "I'm thinking, if that person treats Gu Lingqing as an imaginary enemy, he should treat the others as his imaginary enemies too. Pay close attention, and report immediately if there's any problem," Gu Lingqing ordered. "Yes. I'll get someone to do it now." Qing Qian went out. "What do I need to do on my side?" Ling Shuai asked. "Qing Qian, help me with this." "I'll leave the reporting to you," Gu Lingqing ordered. "Yes." Ling Shuai also saluted respectfully like Qing Qian. Bai Ye really had the illusion of when Gu Lingqing was still in the military. He was upright and plain-spoken, powerful, and bright and just. In her heart, he was the most qualified soldier. The corner of her mouth curled up slightly. After the meal, Gu Lingqing helped to wash the dishes. "Your dinner is delicious. My brothers like it very much too," Gu Lingqing complimented. "You can ask them to come over often. 3 heads are better than 1. If they discuss things together, they'll be more quick-witted. Anyway, I have time to cook," Bai Ye said softly. Gu Lingqing smiled, and the way he looked at her was especially sentimental. "I finally know why I like you." "Why?" Bai Ye blurted out. "Because you make me feel happy," Gu Lingqing said. Bai Ye pursed her lips and smiled. Washing the dishes was originally boring, but with him by her side, everyone felt warm. After washing the dishes, she fed the dog and was carried into the room by Gu Lingqing. The 2 of them fell on the bed together. "The doctor said that this is your ovulation period, right?" Gu Lingqing asked as he hugged her waist tightly. Bai Ye blushed. "Yes. Got it." He turned over. Bai Ye pressed against his chest. "Let's take a shower first. My body is full of the smell of food." He took a deep breath. The feeling of home. Bai Ye was amused by him. "You should marry a cook." "Don't talk nonsense," Gu Lingqing said seriously. Bai Ye pursed her lips and looked at him with a smile. He looked at her sweet face and also stopped being serious. "You deserve to be punished." As soon as he said that, he kissed her lips, and it was another night of extreme entanglement. The next day, when Baya woke up, the sky was already very bright. Gu Lingqing was not by her side. She looked at the time. It was 9:30. There was a note written on the bedside table. The handwriting was smooth and smooth. With one look, she knew that it was written by Gu Lingqing. She picked up the note. On it was written, "Today, I made century egg and lean meat porridge and put it in the rice cooker to heat it up. When you wake up, the dough sticks will probably be cold. Heat up the soybean milk and put it in the soybean milk to eat." Baya smiled and lay on the bed again. This feeling was so blissful. Her phone rang. She picked it up and looked at it. The mercenary had sent an email. It was a simple sentence, "Done. Wait for the next step." Chapter 429. She got up, brushed her teeth, washed up, and went out to eat the breakfast prepared by Gu Lingqing. After putting a recording pen in her bag, she called Zhou Hailan. Zhou Hailan's phone rang 5 times before it was picked up. He had a cold, coughed, and asked, "Hello, who is this?" "I'm Wu Nian. Are you free at noon?" "I want to ask you out for tea," Baya said simply. "Miss Wu." Zhou Hailan was very surprised. "I don't think there's anything to talk to Miss Wu. Why did you call me all of a sudden?" "Ahem." Zhou Hailan coughed again. "There's something important I want to talk to Miss Zhou about." "Tell me the place, and I'll be there now," Baya said. Zhou Hailan was silent for 3 seconds. "I've caught a cold recently, and it's not convenient for me to meet you." "It doesn't matter. I can go to your house. Just give me 10 minutes. It's about Mr. Gu." "I think you'd like to hear it," Baya said strongly. "Okay, come to the cafe on Boai Road." "I'll be there in about an hour," Zhou Hailan said. "See you there." Baya hung up the phone. She went out and drove to the market. She bought freshly slaughtered chicken, tea tree mushrooms, Artemisia celengensis, and lentils, and walked into the pharmacy. "Beauty, what do you need?" "I can help you," the shop assistant said enthusiastically. "I'm just looking around." Baya walked in, glanced at the medicine on the cabinet, took out 4 pregnancy test papers, and handed them to the cashier. A total of 12 yuan. Baya put a white bottle into her bag, took out her wallet from her bag, and paid the cashier. She went out and drove. She didn't go to the cafe on Boai Road, but back. She looked at the rearview mirror. At this time, the people from the shadows should be following her. She sped up and made a turn. She looked at the rearview mirror again. Sure enough, a silver Porsche also sped up, made a turn, and followed behind her. The driver was still wearing a black cap, so she couldn't see his face clearly. She slowed down, and so did the silver-gray Porsche. She pursed her lips and glanced at the time in the car. After a while, his phone rang. It was Zhou Hailan. Baya picked up the call without any surprise. "Miss Wu, where are you?" "An hour has passed," Zhou Hailan said unhappily. "I'm on the way." "Something happened." "Wait for me," Baya said in a deep voice. He turned around and drove towards the cafe on Fraternity Street. Just as she was about to reach the cafe, her phone rang. She saw that it was a call from Gu Lingqing and answered. "Have you eaten?" Gu Lingqing asked. "Not yet. I received a call from Zhou Hailan. She asked me to meet her at the cafe. I'm going there now. I saw the people from the shadows." "It's that silver-gray Porsche, right?" Baya asked with a smile. Gu Lingqing didn't answer her. She asked in surprise, "She asked you to meet her at the cafe?" "Maybe it's because I called her before." Why did you call her? Gu Lingqing was nervous. I thought about it. Since Zhou Hailan is a breakthrough, I can start by befriending her. Maybe I'll get something good out of it. Stop fooling around. She won't be friends with you. She's very guarded against you. You can't get close to her. Didn't I say before that I'll handle it? Gu Lingqing said helplessly. I'll give it a try. It's hard to say. Don't worry, your people are around me. I'll be fine. I'll hang up first. Baiye hung up the phone. She looked sharply at the cafe and stopped the car. She got out of the car and went into the cafe. She called Zhou Hailan. I'm here. Where are you? I'm in the private room, room 203. Get the waiter to bring me there, Zhou Hailan said while holding back her anger. Baiye looked at the waiter. Please bring me to room 203. Okay. This way. The waiter enthusiastically led the way to the entrance of room 203. Baiye pushed the door open and entered. Zhou Hailan saw Baiye. She frowned and said in surprise, You've lost a lot of weight. I purposely went on a diet. I was too fat before, Baiye replied. She glanced at the table. Zhou Hailan was drinking chrysanthemum tea. I didn't expect you to be so beautiful after losing weight. Why are you looking for me about Lingqing? Zhou Hailan went straight to the point. Baiye sat opposite her. Gu Lingqing has 2 sons. I heard that you're taking care of one of them. The other one has already gone overseas. I'm curious too. Didn't I ask you to be a home tutor? I saw that Lingqing likes you. Why did you suddenly stop? Zhou Hailan asked curiously. Baiye picked up the chrysanthemum teapot and poured water for Zhou Hailan. Because of some special reasons, I went to country X. So, this matter has been temporarily put on hold. Country X. That's pretty good. However, what do you want to tell me about Gu Lingqing? Zhou Hailan urged. To be exact, this matter is about you. Baiye picked up the teacup and passed it to Zhou Hailan. About me? Zhou Hailan looked at Baiye suspiciously. She did not take the teacup from Baiye and said defensively, What are you trying to do? I hope that Miss Wu will be straightforward. I don't have that much time to waste with you. Baiye put down the teacup and smiled. Miss Zhou should be an abandoned chess piece now. What? Zhou Hailan stood up in shock and raised her voice. What are you talking about? What abandoned chess piece? Ridiculous. She walked out of the door angrily. You've done so many things for that person. In the end, you're sick and alone. You'll die alone in the future. I really don't know why you're doing this, Baiye said slowly and poured the white medicine into her teacup. Zhou Hailan stopped and turned around. Miss Wu, did you get the wrong person? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Your last mission was a scam. You knew it from the start. Why did you willingly destroy your face? Women should look good to please themselves. You should love beauty. Baiye glanced at Zhou Hailan. Zhou Hailan widened her eyes and looked at Baiye. Baiye smiled and glanced at the seat opposite her. Do you want to hear the condition I'm giving you? Zhou Hailan hesitated and sat opposite Baiye. What do you want to say? Work with me. I'll let you and your child go far away and no longer be restricted by anyone, Baiye suggested. What do you want me to work with you for? Tell me what he asked you to do. Baiye looked at Zhou Hailan. I've always been free. This condition of yours is not attractive to me. Chapter 430. Zhou Hailan's face turned pale. What do you mean by that? Zhou Hailan, think about it. What do you have now? Men. Reputation. Status. Or do you think you can still get close to Gu Lingqing? Let me tell you, it's impossible. Gu Lingqing has already married me. I won't let you have the chance to get close to me, even if I die, Bai said coldly. She stood up straight and looked down at her. Zhou Hailan looked at her in shock. That's impossible. Gu Lingqing only loves Bai. He won't marry anyone else. Don't you think I have the same voice as Bai? You're more ruthless than her. She won't do such a thing. Why would Gu Lingqing marry such a ruthless woman like you? Zhou Hailan said anxiously. I'm nothing compared to your ruthlessness. Back then, during that mission, Gu Lingqing brought so many people with him, and they were all killed by you. Those people were your brothers. Of course, you're so ruthless to yourself. You can even ruin your beauty, let alone others. I don't know why people like you are still alive, Zhou Hailan said coldly. That's because they deserve to die. Wu Nian, don't talk nonsense if you don't know anything. If they don't die, more people will die, Zhou Hailan said impulsively. Don't you think it's funny that more people will die if you don't die? Many illegal organizations also think of themselves as saviors and kill more people. So, you're destined to live alone until you die, Bai said coldly. Zhou Hailan smashed the glass and picked up the shard. He quickly pressed the shard against Gu Lingqing's neck and said with hatred, believe it or not, I will kill you. Bai looked at Zhou Hailan fearlessly and said, of course I do. You've already killed so many people anyway, I won't make a difference. However, if I die, you and Gu Ruoxin can forget about living. Gu Lingqing's dark shadow has always been protecting me. You should know that. Wu Nian, what exactly do you want? Zhou Hailan asked while gnashing his teeth. Bai looked at her deeply. Tell me the truth about that mission. He won't let me go. Zhou Hailan was worried. I can make you disappear from the face of the earth and live a good life with Xiao Axan. With your EQ and looks, you will find a man who loves you, Bai advised. Zhou Hailan looked at her. How can you make me disappear from the face of the earth? I think you should have heard about Shen Yan having a lover. I made his lover disappear from the face of the earth. Do you think I don't have the ability to do that? Bai asked. I just don't believe you. Also, who exactly are you? Are you working for Shen Yan? Zhou Hailan looked at her and asked. You don't need to know who I am. If you want to be reborn, only I can help you. Bai looked at Zhou Hailan with a burning gaze. Zhou Hailan looked down and put her hand down. The shard fell to the ground. I need to think about it. I can't answer you for now. You have 24 hours to think about it. Don't do anything that you will regret. Otherwise, you won't be able to bear the consequences. Bai said coldly. She walked towards the door and got into the car. She took out the voice recorder from her bag and switched it off. She had drugged the teacup. If Zhou Hailan drank it, she should be able to hypnotize Zhou Hailan and maybe get some information out of him. Unfortunately, Zhou Hailan was too cautious. She stewed the freshly slaughtered chicken and put in the tea tree mushrooms. Then, she used the chicken soup noodles. After eating the chicken soup noodles, she took a leisurely nap. When she woke up, she went to dig for earthworms at the back door and went fishing at the lake. Time passed. She looked at her watch. It was almost 17 p.m. She had caught 6 or 7 small carps. Zhou Hailan had not replied to her message. It would be a lie to say that she was not anxious. However, even if she was anxious, there was nothing she could do. The choice was in Zhou Hailan's hands. She said that if they didn't die, more people would die. She kept thinking about what she meant. It was too profound and she could not understand it. From afar, she saw Gu Lingqing's car coming. She reeled in the fishing line. The tea tree mushroom chicken soup was ready for dinner. It was already ready. She just needed to heat it up. She would stir-fry some lentils and Artemisia selingensis. Soon, the small carps would be cooked tomorrow. The car stopped in front of her. Gu Lingqing pushed the door open and got out. Bai saw Zhou Hailan sitting in the front passenger seat and also pushed the door open. She had a rough idea of what was going on. Xiao Nian, you caught Xiao Axan to threaten Zhou Hailan? Gu Lingqing asked directly. He was very surprised and could not believe it. Bai stared at Gu Lingqing. If Gu Lingqing knew that she had caught Xiao Axan, he would definitely ask her to let Xiao Axan go because he was ashamed of such behavior. It seemed that Zhou Hailan had chosen to be her enemy. No. Bai replied coldly. You're lying. Zhou Hailan walked in front of Bai agitatedly. You said you caught Xiao Axan. Why would I catch Xiao Axan? Zhou Hailan, did you ask me out today just to frame me? Bai asked calmly. What do you mean I asked you out? You asked me out. You said you caught Xiao Axan. Xiao Axan really couldn't be caught. Who else could it be other than you? Zhou Hailan pushed Bai. Bai took a step back. Gu Lingqing held her waist and protected her behind him. He said to Zhou Hailan coldly, speak properly. I believe her. Gu Lingqing, she is Shaniyan's person. Shaniyan found a person who has the same pronunciation as Bai and put her beside you. If you believe her, you won't even know how you die in the future. Zhou Hailan said anxiously. That's my business. I will find Xiao Axan. You can go back now. Gu Lingqing asked him to leave. Since she framed me, then Xiao Axan must be hidden by herself. Bai said coldly. Utter nonsense. Wu Nian, you'll be struck by lightning if you continue like this. You haven't even been struck by lightning. It's not my turn. Look, Lingqing. Listen. She admitted it. Zhou Hailan held Gu Lingqing's arm. Bai looked at Gu Lingqing. I didn't admit it. I don't think I'm wrong. Of course, Xiao Axan is your son. You should do what you should do. I'll go back to cook. She picked up the bucket and walked into the kitchen. She was going to kill the fish. She was going to eat them tomorrow. She killed them one by one. Behind her, Gu Lingqing's aura approached. She was washing the fish. Xiaoya, did you hide Xiao Axan? Gu Lingqing asked again. Bai looked at Gu Lingqing. You believe her? She has no reason to frame you, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Chapter 431. I've checked the sky eye. The person who kidnapped Xiao Axan was very cautious. He wore a cap, so we couldn't get a picture of his face. The van they took was a fake license plate and disappeared in a section without surveillance. It's not easy to find him. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Gu Lingqing, it's actually very simple. You're too worried. If I kidnapped Xiao Axan, I would never hurt Xiao Axan. If it was Zhou Hailan who kidnapped Xiao Axan, she wouldn't hurt her son either. In this case, Xiao Axan must be safe, Bai analyzed. Fill the pot and pour oil into it. Gu Lingqing remained silent and did not speak. Bai poured the fish into the pot. Before the water was drained, it made a sizzling sound, and some oil splashed on the back of her hand. Gu Lingqing covered the pot and turned down the fire. He took her hand to the sink and turned on the tap. Are you angry that I don't trust you? When Bai saw Gu Lingqing's concern, heartache, and guilt, her heart ached. He was right not to trust her because she was the one who had captured Xiao Axan. She was just wasting her trust with him. But it didn't matter, as long as he was safe. A little, Baiya said simply. Not wanting him to notice too much, he pulled out his hand and opened the lid of the pot. Gu Lingqing grabbed the shovel and stood in front of Baiya. Be careful not to splash oil again. Let me do it. Baiya stood aside and said in a low voice, Don't worry, Xiao Axan will be fine. Well, how are you going to cook the fish? Gu Lingqing asked. There's chicken soup tonight. Let's braise it. Let me do it. Baiya picked up the bottle of cooking wine and poured the wine into it. The boiling situation in the pot immediately calmed down. Gu Lingqing returned the shovel to Baiya. She flipped through it. She was thinking about something just now and forgot to add garlic and ginger. She added them again, added soy sauce, soup, and covered the pot. Her phone rang. It was Zhou Hailan. She hung up. Gu Lingqing hadn't left yet. He said in a low voice, Take it. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhou Hailan's phone rang again. Baiya picked up the call and turned on the speaker. Wu Nian, what exactly do you want? Zhou Hailan asked anxiously. What do you want? Baiya asked. Xiao Axan is still young. Come at me if you can. Don't hurt the innocent. I promise you that I will never appear in front of Gu Lingqing, and I will not let Xiao Axan steal Gu Lingqing. Are you satisfied now? First of all, I don't care whether you appear in front of Gu Lingqing or not. You have no power over me at all. It's up to you. Secondly, Xiao Axan is Gu Lingqing's son. This can't be changed. It has nothing to do with stealing. Blood melts with water. Do you understand? Besides, Gu Lingqing doesn't believe you. So, don't waste your efforts. We have a good relationship. You can't sow discord between us. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. Baiya said coldly. She hung up the phone. She put the phone on the bar. I suspect that she said that on purpose because she knew you were there. What do you think? If I kidnapped Xiao Axan, my purpose wouldn't be to let her go. What I want is for her to confess. You know what I mean. I know. I'm sorry that you have been wronged. Gu Lingqing said apologetically. Baiya's eyes darkened. The more he trusted her, the more guilty she felt. I'll cook. You can go out. I don't feel comfortable with you here. I'll be able to eat in half an hour. Okay. Gu Lingqing turned around and left. Baiya put the rice into the rice cooker. She cut the lentils and shredded meat. She opened another pot and stir-fried the shredded meat and lentils. Zhou Hailan called again. She thought it was about time. She picked up the call and pressed the record button. Wu Nian, let me tell you. Don't think that I'll be controlled by you just because you kidnapped Xiao Axan. I won't. Even if I die, I won't tell you the truth. I don't care about Xiao Axan anyway. At most, I'll have another child. Zhou Hailan said fiercely. Baiya fell silent. She felt sorry for Xiao Axan. Xiao Axan's love for Zhou Hailan was real. It was a form of favoritism. If anyone hurt Zhou Hailan, he would risk his life. If Xiao Axan knew that Zhou Hailan would treat him like that, he would probably be bitterly disappointed. Everyone has a choice. Their choice determines the outcome. Although I don't know why you're framing me, I just hope that you don't get caught in a trap of your own making. Baiya hung up. Her phone rang again. It was Zhou Hailan again. Baiya picked up. What do you mean? Zhou Hailan was furious. Baiya chuckled. From now on, I'll block you. Don't call me again. With that said, she hung up and blocked Zhou Hailan. She continued cooking. Half an hour later, the dishes were ready and served on the dining table. Gu Lingqing frowned and ordered, "Continue to investigate. Do a carpet search. I don't believe that someone can fly into the sky. Even if he does, I'll be able to catch him." Bai Ye sat down opposite him and started eating. Gu Lingqing looked at Bai Ye with a dark expression. "Xiaoya, I know that you want to find out who's behind this. But if I have to sacrifice others to protect myself, I'm not willing to do so." Bai Ye replied and continued eating with her head lowered. Gu Lingqing frowned slightly. He did not say anything else and continued eating with his head lowered. The atmosphere was unusually strange because of the silence. Even the dog felt it and barked twice. Bai Ye looked at Gu Lingqing. "Give me your phone." Gu Lingqing did not hesitate and passed the phone to her. Bai Ye looked through his contacts and found Leng Shuai. After noting down Leng Shuai's number, she continued to look for Zhou Hailan's number and blocked Zhou Hailan's number. Gu Lingqing's frown deepened. Bai Ye looked at his furrowed brows and felt her heart ache. "Your people are following Zhou Hailan, so you know her movements like the back of your hand. I've blocked her number, but it won't affect you taking care of her. Of course, if you feel that it's necessary to keep her number, you can remove her from the blacklist. I didn't delete her number. Also, you should know her identity. It's not safe for you to bring her here. I'll leave after dinner. If your people want to follow me, they can follow me. It doesn't matter if they don't. You don't have to make such a big fuss over this." Gu Lingqing did not hide his pain. At the same time, he felt annoyed. "I don't want things to get worse. I think we need to calm down for a while. You know where to find me. Also..." Bai Ye paused and looked at him deeply. "Maybe you haven't even realized it, but your care and trust for Zhou Hailan is beyond your imagination. So when you saw her call me, you started to suspect me again. I think this is one of the main reasons why Xia He has been wrong for so many years." Bai Ye put down his chopsticks and stood up. "I'm full. You can eat slowly." Chapter 432. Bai Ye's heart ached. Gu Lingqing wasn't wrong at all. She was the one who was wrong. She was the one who kidnapped Xiao Axin. She couldn't blame him for not trusting her. Her eyes turned red, but she quickly controlled her emotions and looked at him. "It's okay, I'm the one who's in a bad mood. You're right. Since I brought Zhou Hailan here, I'm afraid this place isn't safe anymore. I was in a hurry and didn't think too much. I'll find a place to move tomorrow. It's okay, I really want to calm down for a few days." Bai Ye rejected him. She really had something to do. It would be more convenient if she left this place. She knew where Gu Lingqing wouldn't be able to find her. "What about after you calm down? Do you want to separate? We've been through so much. Is there anything we can't get through? Between Xia He and Zhou Hailan, I might trust Zhou Hailan more. But between Zhou Hailan and you, I definitely trust you. I don't agree to separate. I won't disturb you when you're here and you can calm down," Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. His heart ached at the thought of separating. It was as though there was a hole in his heart. Countless streams of acid flowed out and into his blood. Bai Ye lowered her eyes. Her face was so pale that there was no color at all. Her rationality and her heart were fighting. In the end, her rationality lost to her heart. She nodded and walked to Gu Lingqing's side. She hugged him and closed her eyes as tears flowed down her cheeks. One day, he would understand that he had married a weak woman. She was so weak that she couldn't live without him. Eat some more. You haven't eaten much. Gu Lingqing said gently and looked at her. Bai couldn't hold back her tears. He found out. Gu Lingqing looked at her with heartache. There won't be anything between Zhou Hailan and I. I swear that if I find out that Zhou Hailan is doing something hostile, I will send her to court. Xiao Axan is my child and I'm just responsible for him. Bai sniffled and sat down on his seat. She wiped her tears. Gu Lingqing moved her bowl and chopsticks in front of her, sat down next to her, and smiled slightly. Are you still jealous of me? Bai didn't say anything. She picked up some meat from the fish and put it into Gu Lingqing's bowl. Eat. Gu Lingqing knew that Bai was shy, so he didn't pursue the matter. He lowered his head and placed the fish's belly meat back into Bai's bowl. You eat. After eating, the two of them walked along the lake. Gu Lingqing held her hand. No one spoke. Bai was lost in her own thoughts. After eating, the two of them walked along the lake. Gu Lingqing held her hand. No one spoke. Bai was lost in her own thoughts. I won't be back for dinner tomorrow. I need to go back. Gu Lingqing broke the silence. Bai vaguely remembered that Lang Ning mentioned that Gu Lingqing's father was not in good health yesterday. Do you want to go with me? Gu Lingqing asked gently. Bai shook her head. Not for now. With the current situation, it's better to avoid trouble. I'll be back before midnight. In the afternoon, Zhang Xingyu will bring you to the new place. Call me if you need anything. Gu Lingqing reminded her. Bai nodded. Gu Lingqing's phone rang. He saw that it was Lang Ning and picked up the call. Chief, bad news. There's an order from above. They want to interrogate Xia He immediately. I haven't officially reported it yet, Lang Ning said anxiously. Above? Which above? It was sent by the military committee. Xia will definitely say that the mission is fake in court. If she says it first and I say it later, I will become an accomplice and a shield. If I say it first, I will be able to save her life. What should I do? Tell Xia He not to say it for now, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. I'm more worried that Xia He will be executed before she goes to court. Or if she doesn't say it after she goes to court, she won't have a chance to say it. We have to ensure her safety. Stall for an hour. I'll look for her. Gu Lingqing hung up and immediately made a call. Shiniyan, I have something to discuss with you. It's very urgent. It's about Xia He. I know that. It's me, the disciplinary committee, and the related people from other departments who received an anonymous letter saying that Lang Ning is covering up and keeping it a secret. They collectively requested for an immediate interrogation. That's why I sent the notice. I'm afraid that the disciplinary committee will look for Lang Ning later, Shiniyan replied. There's another secret in this matter. The original mission was fake. Xia He can't be a spy. I participated in that mission, so I'm investigating why it's fake and who's the mastermind behind it. Even if it's fake, so many people died. It's the highest number of deaths so far in this kind of secret operation. We can't rule out the possibility that Xia He is the murderer. At that time, only you, Xia He, and Zhou Hailan survived. Other than her, could it be the disfigured Zhou Hailan? Or you? Gu Lingqing, those who want to achieve great things will always have to sacrifice. But this is equivalent to burying the original truth. I've already looked for the vice president of S country. He admitted that the person I saved back then was not him. Then who do you think is the mastermind? Your direct leader, General Kai Qingyun, is already dead. Are you going to push all the blame to Kai Qingyun? Even if you push the blame to Kai Qingyun, Xia He can't get rid of the suspicion. You'll even get into trouble. Besides, there's no reasonable explanation for the purpose of General Kai Qingyun doing this. Gu Lingqing, sometimes, the result is more important than the truth. Only by sacrificing yourself can you achieve the greater good, Shen Yan advised. So, according to you, it doesn't matter if the mission is fake or if Xia He is the murderer. She's definitely going to become a spy, right? Gu Lingqing said coldly. This is for the sake of the overall situation, and it can also prevent the relationship between our country and S country from being affected. Xia He sacrificed for the country and died a worthy death. *CK your sacrifice for the country. If the background of a country is dirty, this country will not be far from destruction. Shen Yan, you and I are different. You can betray the person you love most for your responsibility, but I can't. Gu Lingqing was so angry that he swore and hung up the phone. Bai Yi heard it all, and her eyes darkened. Xiaoya, I'm going out. Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Bai Yi understood Gu Lingqing. He was responsible for a stranger, let alone a brother who had gone through fire and water with him. Go and do what you think is right. I fully support you. Chapter 433. Okay, go ahead, Ling Ning said in a low voice and walked into his office. You want Gu Lingqing to be the president, right? Bai Yi asked. Of course, I believe that the chief can do better than Shen Yan. This has always been my wish. Only by following the chief can I be motivated and serve the country better, Ling Ning said passionately. I'll send you a recording later. This recording can prove that the mission is fake and the culprit is Zhou Hailan. Gu Lingqing won't be involved. Also, I kidnapped Xiao Axan to force Zhou Hailan to reveal the culprit. I promise I won't hurt Xiao Axan. However, Zhou Hailan didn't care about Xiao Axan's safety and told Gu Lingqing about it. According to my understanding of Gu Lingqing, he wouldn't want to use this method to get information about the culprit. Now, once Zhou Hailan's recording is exposed, Zhou Hailan will be in danger. He might be killed by the culprit, but it's also a chance to find out who the culprit is. So, you have to plan it carefully. Lastly, if Xiao Axan goes back to Zhou Hailan now, it'll be dangerous. After everything is settled, I'll let Xiao Axan go back to Gu Lingqing safely. So, you can go easy on the mission to find Xiao Axan, Bai Yi said. Ling Ning paused. You're helping us. Gu Lingqing is my husband. What do you think? Or do you think I'm harming you? Bai Yi asked coldly. I understand. I know what to do. Don't worry, please give me the recording, Ling Ning said. Bai Yi hung up and turned on the recording. Zhou Hailan's voice came from inside. That's because they deserve to die. Wu Nian, don't spout nonsense if you don't know anything. If they don't die, more people will die. What do you mean by more people will die? Don't you think your words are hilarious? Many illegal organizations also see themselves as saviors and kill even more people. Therefore, you are destined to grow old alone and live a life worse than death. Believe it or not, I will kill you. Of course I do. You've already killed so many people anyway, I won't make a difference. However, if I die, you, Gu Ruoxin, don't even think about living. Gu Lingqing's shadow has been protecting me. You should know that. Wu Nian, what exactly do you want? Tell me the truth about that mission. He won't let me go. That was all she had cut out and sent it to the cold market. Lying on the bed, she placed her hands naturally on her abdomen. Soon, everyone would know that she was the one who got the recording. The people behind the scenes would probably not let her go either. But it didn't matter. She just hoped that the people behind the scenes would be able to find traces of them, so that all her hard work would not be in vain. Lying on the bed, she tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. Gu Lingqing had not returned yet. She got up and turned on the television. She watched some soap operas, but she could not get into it. The more she watched, the more uneasy she felt. Looking at the time, it was already 1 in the morning. Zhang Xingyu called and she picked it up immediately. "Miss Wu, something has happened," Zhang Xingyu said anxiously. Hearing that something had happened, Bai Yi's heart skipped a beat. She stood up from the bed. "What's wrong?" "In court, the recording of you was released and it caused a huge uproar. Now, they are divided into 2 groups. One group believes that the mission is fake and the other group thinks that it's fabricated." "Fabricated? The recording can be verified. I didn't put it together." Bai Yi frowned. "The verification has been done, but many people think that there are loopholes in the language. They are debating. The president is helping us, so we should be able to win, but Chief Leng and President Gu are both trapped now. Chief Leng is worried that those people will kill them, so he can't mobilize his men. Chief Gu can't mobilize the shadows," Zhang Xingyu explained. "Can't you mobilize them?" "I only know the people in my team. Moreover, everyone in my team has a mission." "I'm afraid I can't," Zhang Xingyu said apologetically. "We don't have time to think about it now. If we don't know who killed Zhou Hailan, or if Zhou Hailan is killed, it will be even more difficult to find the people behind the scenes. Mobilize the people who are protecting me to protect Zhou Hailan," Bai Yi said anxiously. "If something happens to you, it will be harder for me to explain to President Gu." Zhang Xingyu didn't dare to. "Who is more important in your heart, me or President Gu? Moreover, I have no grudges with them. How could something happen to me?" "Move Zhou Hailan to a safe place first," Bai Yi ordered. "Okay. Send me Zhou Hailan's address." Bai Yi hung up the phone. After receiving the address from Zhang Xingyu, she sent it to the mercenaries and Zhou Hailan's photo. She called them and ordered, "Go to this address and protect this woman. Move her to a safe place. It's best if you can catch the person who wants to kill her." "How do we calculate the fees? This isn't a mission anymore, right?" the mercenaries asked. "You are top-notch mercenaries and will have many collaborations in the future. How about 1 million per mission?" Bai Yi asked. "There are 5 of us. Isn't 200,000 per mission a little too low? 2 million per mission. Just now, I mentioned moving Zhou Hailan safely and catching the person who wants to kill her. These 2 missions cost 4 million. We can earn 4 million in 1 or 2 hours. It's not a low price. Moreover, there will be more collaborations in the future, right?" Bai Yi negotiated. She didn't have that much money on hand. She couldn't ask Alan for more money. "Okay, remember to pay tomorrow." The mercenaries hung up the phone and set off. Bai Yi was worried. She drove to Zhou Hailan's house and stopped in front of her house. Zhou Hailan's house was in the downtown area. The person behind the scenes wouldn't bring a bunch of people with guns to her house. After waiting for about half an hour, she heard banging sounds. She didn't have time to think and ran to Zhou Hailan's house. The door was opened and Zhou Hailan rushed out. When he saw Bai Yi, his sharp eyes swept to the right. Bai Yi saw a masked man on the right. He was holding a gun and aiming at Zhou Hailan. If Zhou Hailan died, the clues would be broken. She couldn't let Zhou Hailan die. She stood in front of Zhou Hailan. The person who fired the gun paused. Zhou Hailan also paused for a while and returned to her room. Bai Yi looked at the person who fired the gun in surprise. Why didn't he shoot? Didn't he want to hurt the innocent? No, she wasn't innocent at all. She was the one who exposed the incident. The person behind the scenes should hate her to the core. The person with the gun dashed into the corridor. Baiya didn't have time to think. Zhou Heilan's comfort was more important. Zhou Heilan shook her head and smiled confidently. You won't. Killing me won't do you any good. If you wanted to kill me, you wouldn't have risked your life to save me. So, Zhou Heilan, you've never loved anyone before. You don't know how anxious it is when you see your lover in danger. When people lose their rationality, they can do anything. If you don't believe me, I'll kill you. Baiya shouted and fired. The bullet flew past Zhou Heilan and landed on the side of her head. Zhou Heilan was shocked. He didn't expect her to really shoot. What are you doing? Baiya clenched her teeth and continued firing. 3 shots were fired. All 3 shots hit Zhou Heilan's legs. She said sharply, "Are you going to tell me or not?" Zhou Heilan covered her bleeding legs. She looked at Baiya with bloodshot eyes and hatred. Stop dreaming. I won't tell you. They want to kill you. Zhou Heilan, do you even have a brain? Baiya was extremely agitated. Brain? How much do you know? How much do you know about me? You said that I don't know how to love, but you don't know how much I've sacrificed for the man I love. Zhou Heilan said angrily. Is this how you sacrifice yourself for Gu Lingqing? You're not sacrificing yourself. You're harming him. Who said that I like Gu Lingqing? Zhou Heilan said coldly. Baiya paused. She was shocked. You don't like Gu Lingqing? Of course not. I can stay by another man's side for the man I love and give birth to another man's child. I can also ruin my appearance for him. Even if I die, I won't tell anyone who he is, Zhou Heilan said firmly. But he wants to kill you now. Baiya said vehemently. Zhou Heilan didn't care. There was nothing more sorrowful than a dead heart. That's because he's also following someone else's orders. Without him, I would have died when I was 12 years old. My life now is considered to be returned to him. Baiya looked at the determination in her eyes. She lowered her arms dispiritedly. She knew that even if she saved Zhou Heilan today, she wouldn't tell anyone about the mastermind. Gu Lingqing will die because of you. He has never harmed you. He's even the father of your child, Baiya murmured. A strange sense of guilt flowed through Zhou Heilan's face. He's very good. He treats me well. He's always taken good care of me. But, he's not the man I love. Otherwise, according to his personality, if I slept with him when we were dating, you wouldn't be involved in the future. But, I'm not willing. I've been waiting for him. I've watched him marry a wife. I've watched him play with women. I've watched him control everything. A thought flashed through Baiya's mind. The man you like is Su Jiran. She guessed. She looked at Zhou Heilan's eyes. Zhou Heilan paused. She came back to her senses. I don't know what you're talking about. If you want to kill me, just kill me. I know you won't protect me anymore. I'm going to die anyway. I won't feel wronged if I die in your hands. Zhou Heilan was avoiding this topic. The person she loved was Su Jiran. Baiya was shocked. She couldn't imagine that the person Zhou Heilan liked was Su Jiran. The number of women he had played with was probably several truckloads. She slowly squatted down in front of Zhou Heilan. She looked at Zhou Heilan's face, which looked like she was facing death with equanimity. She calmed down. She didn't have the impulse earlier. Her rationality slowly returned to her mind. I won't kill you. I'm afraid that killing you will dirty my hands. But before you die, I want to tell you a secret. What is it? Zhou Heilan's eyes locked on Baiya. The current Baiya was a mystery to her. She didn't know anything about this woman who had appeared out of nowhere. Baya pinched Zhou Hailan's face. She lowered her head and whispered in her ear, Su Jiran, the woman he loves is me. Zhou Hailan sneered. She looked at Baya mockingly. You're dreaming. I know him too well. He's only loved one woman in his life. That was his ex-wife. Other than his ex-wife, I'm afraid he'll never love anyone else. Chapter 435. I don't know where your confidence comes from. That's because they don't want to kill the wrong person. Maybe we can renegotiate. Tell me who the person behind the scenes is. I'll make Su Jiran fall in love with you. Even if he doesn't love you, I'll let you have his child and let him stay by your side forever. Otherwise, he'll kill you, and I'll take away everything you want and care about, Baya said coldly. She said coldly. The people outside had already broken the lock and were carrying the door. On the other side, An Ying's people were resisting, pushing the sofa, not letting them open the door, trying to give Baya time to negotiate. I don't believe you. What makes you think you can do it? Zhou Hailan didn't believe it at all. Baya stood up and looked down at her. Because I'm Baya. Impossible. Baya died a long time ago. Why do you think Gu Lingqing married me? You've seen his trust in me. Of course, believe it or not, it's up to you. Baya raised her hand and ordered coldly, let them in. Don't shoot. Their target is Zhou Hailan. If Zhou Hailan is dead, he'll leave. Zhou Hailan looked at Baya. Baya turned and walked towards the room inside. Stop, Zhou Hailan shouted. Baya stopped. Are you really Baya? Zhou Hailan continued to ask. Baya looked at her. 2 years ago, you entrusted me to take care of your son. You deliberately let your son break his own head so that Gu Lingqing would misunderstand me. I'm actually very curious. How did you convince such a young child to do that? That child is really stupid. Only she, Baya, and Gu Lingqing knew about this. Xiao Axian knew. Gu Lingqing wouldn't say it, and Xiao Axian wouldn't say it either. She was really Baya. She believed it. The line of defense in his heart was broken. Su Jiran is an orphan. It's very pitiful. His father was wrongly accused of being a spy. Su Jiran and I have been secretly training on an isolated island since we were young. He is very capable, and his methods are extremely cruel. However, he is very good to us who grew up together. By the time he was 12, he was already our leader, and my direct supervisor had always been him. I only know that the person above him is Kai Qingyun. Now that Kai Qingyun is dead, and Su Jiran has taken over the organization, I don't know who the person above him is. However, I know that the objective of that mission was a meticulously arranged massacre, Zhou Hailan said. Slaughter. Why? Baya asked. Little Tiger discovered the organization's name list by chance. He showed the name list to Dehu, and Dehu told his comrades about it. The two of them looked for their squad leader, and the squad leader looked for the platoon leader, and the platoon leader looked for Chief Kai. That's how we got this specially arranged mission, Zhou Hailan recalled. Then what's the matter with Gu Lingqing? What's the matter with Xia He, and what's the matter with the other people who died? Baya continued to ask. Gu Lingqing is Gu Tianheng's son. When he goes out to carry out the mission, his credibility is strong, and no one will doubt the authenticity of the mission. The people sent out can't all be people who know the secret, or else Little Tiger and the others will be suspicious. Therefore, some innocent and messy people were arranged to go in. This mission was a complete failure. If only Gu Lingqing and I survived, would be easily suspected. Therefore, Xia He, who knows nothing, survived unscathed. She will become the scapegoat, Zhou Hailan explained. Was your face also arranged in advance? Bai Yi stared at her face with skin grafts. That was an accident. During the mission, Little Tiger found out something was wrong. She suspected that I was a spy, so she set the fire. Bai Yi understood. Su Jiran's mother is the former president's woman. Su Jiran should be working for the president, right? The name of the organization is Formless. Formless is Shaniyan's, so I am very sure that Su Jiran is not really working for the president. However, his identity is a little special. I have been by his side for so many years, but I still can't figure it out. Perhaps, he has never opened his heart to me, and he doesn't trust me. That's why he is following orders from above. Come and kill me, Zhou Hailan said gloomily. With a bang, the door was set on fire. Miss Wu, hurry up and leave, Zhang Xingyu reminded. Bai Yi glanced at Zhou Hailan. She could die for Su Jiran, but it was impossible for her to testify against Su Jiran. It was already not easy for her to say what she knew. In fact, she was useless to them. But she sympathized with her. She remembered a song. The lyrics went like this: women tend to be deeply in love. They are always trapped by love. In the end, they fall deeper and deeper. But for a woman, love is her soul. She can dedicate her whole life to the person she loves. Take her away. I will definitely protect her safety. I promised her, Bai Yi said in a low voice. Zhang Xingyu carried Zhou Hailan and they retreated into the room. Bai Yi listened to the rain like gunshots outside. Both sides were firing at each other, and neither side was letting the other go. But she knew that they would run out of bullets soon. If there was no backup, they would definitely lose. She walked to the window and made a phone call. Su Jiran picked up the call. What's up? Two things. Firstly, I kidnapped Xiao Axayan to threaten Zhou Hailan. She didn't say anything. In her heart, you are more important than her son. To be exact, you are more important than herself. Secondly, she has already said the reason for the mission. She only knows that you are the leader of the organization. She won't give you up. She doesn't know the person behind you. Let her live. Whether she lives or dies is not something I can decide. Since she said the wrong thing, she should take responsibility for her words. It's not that I don't want to let her live. It's the people above me who want her dead. Su Jiran rejected. Let her go. I will tell you. Where is Bai Yi? Bai Yi said in a low voice. Su Jiran was silent. Where is she? Let her go. Bai Yi looked at the night outside quietly. Her eyes shone with a strange light. Bai Yi once told me about the two of you. She said that although the two of you weren't happy before your marriage, she still looked forward to the wedding night. Not only did she place an apple on the bedside table, she also placed a pair of boys' pants under the bed sheets. She felt that they would give birth to a boy and a girl. Unfortunately, you didn't go to the wedding night. She was very sad and angry. She smashed the glass. The shards, the apple and the boy's pants were all thrown into the bin. You found out and pressed her head into the bin. You said in disdain, "Do you think I will still sleep with a broken shoe like you? Giving birth to a boy and a girl is a fool's dream. I would rather have a girl than have a child with you. Because you used too much force, the porcelain shards cut her face. You just left in disdain." Chapter 436. Su Jiran was silent for 3 seconds. Those memories were real to him. Since she could tell him the details, he believed that she really knew where Bai Yi was. In the past, he didn't think that he was going overboard, and Baya wouldn't complain in front of him. She was always cold and shouldered everything alone. At that time, he seemed to have fallen into a demon's trap. The more arrogant she was, the more indifferent she acted, the more he wanted her to suffer. Now, listening to Wu Nian's calm narration, he also felt that he was going overboard. No wonder Baya would rather die than be with him. I will let her go. I hope you don't go back on your words. Otherwise, she won't be the only one who will die. You will die too. Su Jiran warned and hung up the phone. Not long after, the gunshots outside stopped, and everything became quiet. Su Jiran's men retreated from the room and took away the dead person. Baya looked at Zhou Hailan. You're safe now. Since Su Jiran promised to let you go, he should be able to convince the people above him. He still has the ability to do so. Xiao Axian will be released later. You don't have to worry. Zhou Hailan was a little lonely. She murmured, you said that I love him, that I can sacrifice myself for him, but he still wants to kill me. You only said that you will tell him where Baya is, and he stopped killing me. Baya looked at the sadness on her face, and her eyes darkened. That was how love between three people was. When one of them was good to the other would be sad and worried. If one was trapped in the same mood for a long time and couldn't get out, it would lead to depression. Her mother was like that. Just let it go. You know that Su Jiran has never loved you. However, it's his business whether he loves you or not. It's your business to love him. Often, you feel sad because you think that others should love you if you love him. This kind of mentality in itself is a kind of sickness. No one will do anything for you. It's his right not to do anything for you. The most important thing is that you know what you're doing. Baya said calmly. Have you never hoped for Gu Lingqing's love? Or you could say that you were lucky that those you liked you, and those you didn't like also liked you. A person's life. Zhou Hailan had lost too much blood, and his face was getting paler and paler. Everyone did things differently. Back then, when Gu Lingqing only had Zhou Hailan in his heart, she didn't say anything. She didn't even tell Gu Lingqing that they were in a relationship. She just took it all on her own, went abroad, and stopped contacting him. Perhaps she would have extravagant wishes and desires, but she would never force it, because it would be useless even if she forced it. Zhang Xingyu, send her to the hospital. She's bleeding too much, said Baya. Her phone rang and she looked at it. It was Su Jiran. Will you tell Su Jiran that you're Baya? Zhou Hailan asked worriedly. I won't. Don't forget what you promised me. I don't expect him to love me. He won't love me at all. I just want his child, and someone to accompany me from now on, Zhou Hailan said gloomily. What about Xiao Axian? How are you going to treat Xiao Axian now that you have Su Jiran's child? Baya was suspicious. That's the child I don't want. They forced me to have it. Baya suddenly thought of a question. Gu Lingqing's sperm was left when he raped me. From the beginning, was it all arranged by Su Jiran? I'm not sure about this. He didn't want to marry you at first. He only wanted you to suffer. Maybe it was arranged by General Kai. In fact, he was very afraid of Su Jiran, and he was also worried that Su Jiran would betray him. After all, his mother had a good relationship with the former president. He purposely asked Gu Lingqing to control him. Zhou Hailan guessed. Baya had a creepy feeling, and her heart was cold. She wasn't afraid of ghosts or demons, but she was afraid of people. Because people's minds were sometimes scarier than demons. Then what about my child? Who kidnapped him? Baya asked. Even Su Jiran didn't know where your child went. It shouldn't be him, and it can't be General Kai. He must want you to keep the child by your side, and let Gu Lingqing and Su Jiran fight against each other. Moreover, he wouldn't send the child back when Gu Lingqing was depressed. I guess it should be Gu Lingqing. The people over there. They didn't want to cause unnecessary trouble for Gu Lingqing. Then, did you know that Gu Lingqing arranged for me to be strong in the beginning? Bai Ye looked at Zhou Hailan. Zhou Hailan shook her head. They only told me to give birth to Gu Lingqing's child, so that they could control Gu Lingqing in the future. However, I didn't want to have sex with him, so they arranged it later. Bai Ye's phone stopped ringing, and then it rang again. She answered the phone. I've already let her go. She should have told me, right? Su Jiran asked straightforwardly. She told me that she wanted to go to the South Pole, but I don't know where exactly, Bai Ye said calmly. When a person was used to telling lies, they would no longer feel guilty and blame themselves when they said it. They would also not feel that their conscience was being condemned, because they no longer had a conscience. Wu Nian, you tricked me. Su Jiran was furious. If you know her well enough, you should know that she really wants to go to the South Pole, Bai Ye said calmly. If you lie to me, I can take your lives at any time. Su Jiran hung up the phone. After listening to the phone call, Zhou Hailan left with Zhang Xingyu. When she went out, the mercenaries and the shadows were waiting for her. She said to the mercenaries, although you only completed one mission this time, it was very dangerous. I will transfer 3 million to your account, and we will work together again in the future. Let the child go now. Leave while Gu Lingqing is still trapped. She turned to look at the shadows. One of you go with them to bring the child back. The rest of you, do as you please. The shadows looked at each other and watched as Bai Ye left. Bai Ye got into the car and took out a recording pen from her bag. She recorded the gunfight and all the conversations just now. She listened to it over and over again. She didn't know if it was because she didn't sleep for the whole night, or because she had a cold, but her mind was dizzy. She couldn't think of anything. Everything seemed to be blank. She closed her eyes, leaned on the chair, and soon fell asleep. In the morning in City A, there were people who started to get busy at 6:30 a.m. They were making breakfast, those who got off the night shift, those who went to school early, those who went to work far away, and those who went out of the internet cafe. Her nose was filled with the fragrance of fried dough sticks, pancakes, and fruits. When she opened her eyes, she had a splitting headache, and her throat was particularly dry and painful. She opened the car door and got out. A gust of wind blew over, and it was a little cold. She gathered her clothes, and when she went out for breakfast, she saw many policemen coming, followed by armed policemen. She ordered a bowl of tofu soup and a basket of soup dumplings. Her phone rang. She saw that it was Gu Lingqing. She took a deep breath and answered. Where are you? Gu Lingqing asked coldly. Bai Ye had a bad feeling. We're having breakfast outside. Chapter 437. I'll be back after breakfast. I'll be back in about 2 hours. Bai Ye said softly. Gu Lingqing hung up the phone without saying a word. She guessed that in Ying's people had reported to Gu Lingqing that she had kidnapped Xiao Axayan and lied to him. It was reasonable for him to be angry. She lowered her head to eat the soup dumplings, but found that she had no appetite at all. The restaurant was very small. 2 people sat across from her. Do you know what happened? A thin middle-aged man asked an old man with gray hair next to him. I don't know. At first, I thought that someone was setting off firecrackers. I even scolded them. Isn't it crazy to set off firecrackers in the middle of the night? Then I found that the situation was not right. Look, the police are here today. Even the armed police are here. I heard that the woman is someone's lover, and then she was found out by the wife. Now she is being killed, the thin middle-aged man said. I see. The woman is weak and doesn't work. She has a family doctor and a nanny. Her child goes to the best school. I heard that she is the boss of Goose. A middle-aged woman next to him interrupted. No way. The boss of Goose doesn't have a wife. But my son works in Goose. My son said that. He also said that the woman's son should also be the boss of Goose. They look very similar, the middle-aged woman said. That's right. A woman doesn't work. She has no grudges with anyone. If she wanted to be killed, she could have been killed with a bullet. Why would there be a gunfight? I guess it's Boss Goo's enemy who came to seek revenge, the old man with gray hair said. Baya heard that the rumors on the street were getting more and more ridiculous. She was not in the mood to eat anymore. Rumors did not develop according to logic. Instead, they developed in the direction that people wanted or were interested in. The more they spread, the more ridiculous they became. She stood up. Let me tell you, it's not like that. A short man came over and looked around. He said sneakily, I live on the first floor. I came out at night and heard a man on the phone. Baya took a few pieces of paper and sat down again, pretending to eat breakfast in silence. What call? The skinny man urged. In the beginning, that man said that she would live or die. It's not something I can decide. Since she said the wrong thing, she should be responsible for what she said. It's not that I don't want to let her go, it's the people above me who want her to die. It seemed that the woman had said something wrong, so she had to be punished. Chase them down. Baya paused. These words were indeed said by Su Jiran to her. What happened next? The person next to him urged. What did you say afterwards? Where is she? I said I would let her go. I hope the person who called her doesn't go back on his words. Otherwise, not only will she die, but the person who called her will also die, the short man continued. There's too much information in these words. I can't tell anything, the skinny man said. After the man hung up, he immediately called out and told them to stop shooting. He would tell old Xing about it. So, the woman we want to kill is old Xing, said the short man. The name Xing Dongqing flashed through Baya's mind. She remembered that when she had dinner with Lang Ning before, Lang Ning had said that the people who could become the president were Shen Yin, Su Jing, Lin Shuang, Zhou Chuani, and Xing Dongqing. Kai Qingyun was already a general. The people who could make Kai Qingyun do things must be of a higher rank, including Su Jiran. He even looked down on Ling Qing. The person who could order him was no small matter. The residents were still talking after dinner. She got up and immediately got into the car. Then, she made a call. Lang Ning. I think I know who the person behind this is. But I'm not 100% sure yet. Who is it? Lang Ning asked. Xing Dongqing. Someone heard Su Jiran mention old Xing's name on the phone. I want to know Xing Dongqing's information, said Baya. That's possible. Xing Dongqing's grandfather, Xing Li, used to be in the arms business abroad. He was good friends with Shen Yin's grandfather. Later, when Shen Yin's grandfather became the president, he asked him to return to China to develop his career. Xing Dongqing invested in several projects in a country. However, Shen Yin's grandfather only became the president for 4 years. Then, Zhou Chuani's father became the president. Xing Li also passed away that year. Xing Dongqing's father had a good career. After all, there was a family developing. But at that time, the Gu family rose rapidly. Later, when Shen Yin's father became the president, he promoted Xing Dongqing's father. Xing Dongqing also entered politics. The Xing family's business did well in a country. The Gu family's development went abroad. Coincidentally, there were many people who coveted the position of the president. But every 4 years, Shen Yiyan's father would be elected. Just 3 years ago, Xing Dongqing's father died of a sudden illness. Xing Dongqing took over his father's position and was now the cabinet finance minister. He was also a popular candidate for the president 2 years ago. Lang Ning explained. This might also explain why Su Jiran worked for the former president. When Shen Yiyan's father was alive, Xing Dongqing's father and Shen Yiyan's father were in a cooperative relationship. It was normal for Su Jiran to work for the president, but they were still doing their own things. When Xing Dongqing's father died, this relationship was not so solid. This relationship is not so solid, Bai Ye analyzed. That's great. Then we don't have to worry about being stabbed in the back. No wonder the chief likes you, Lang Ning thanked him sincerely. Now we can only guess that Xing Dongqing is the boss behind Su Jiran. They have an organization working for them secretly to eliminate dissidents. The mission back then was to let Xiao Hu know the name list. Then, all the people who knew the name list died. It still can't prove that they had anything to do with Xiao Yan's murder. Close. Shen Yiyan, Su Jing, Lin Shatong, and Zhou Chuani are also possible murderers. But Xing Dongqing is more likely, Bai Ye reminded. I'll go and protect the people who heard the call, Lang Ning said vigilantly. It's useless. He didn't record it, so there's no evidence. Now, only Su Jiran's testimony is useful. We still need to provide evidence. Now, I know why Shen Yiyan doesn't want to make it big. Shen Yiyan has just been the president for 2 years. His power hasn't stabilized yet. Once Xing Dongqing falls, he will lose his wings. He and Xing Dongqing are both enemies and friends. But, according to Shen Yiyan's shrewdness, before he stabilizes his position, he won't touch Xing Dongqing, Bai Ye said in a deep voice. That person can't be touched, and Su Jiran won't help us. Now that we know who the mastermind is, we can't do anything. Lang Ning was disappointed. What will you do when a scepter is full of poisonous thorns? Bai Ye asked. What do you mean? Bai Ye's eyes were sharp, cold, and cruel. He said, pull them out one by one. It will be a safe scepter. Then, it will be handed to Gu Lingqing. Chapter 438. When Bai Ye returned to the villa, Gu Lingqing stood at the door and watched her get out of the car. She looked terrible and her lips were pursed tightly. Her face was gloomy, but there was no warmth in her. Bai Ye knew that he was very angry now. She smiled and said gently, "You've been waiting for me here. Why don't you sleep for a while? Have you had breakfast? I'll make it for you now." "You kidnapped Xiao Axian," Gu Lingqing said coldly. Bai Ye knew that An Ying's men would tell her. She didn't want others to know, but she and Ling Shuang were both under control. If she didn't let her mercenaries do it, Zhou Hailan would die, and she wouldn't know the truth. "We know. The mastermind might be Xing Dongqing. He has an organization and Su Jiran is his subordinate. Xiao Hu and the others died because they accidentally found out the name list of the organization. That's why they were killed." Bai Ye explained. Gu Lingqing looked at her coldly. His eyes were extremely sharp. He tightened his jaw and raised his voice. "What I'm asking is, did you kidnap Xiao Axian? You don't understand. I know that you definitely didn't want me to kidnap Xiao Axian, so I didn't tell you the truth. Now that Zhou Hailan is safe, I'll get someone to bring Xiao Axian back to her side," Bai Ye said softly with red eyes. "Is it useful?" Gu Lingqing said coldly. "What? I told you to stay out of this. You don't understand. If you expose Zhou Hailan's identity, they won't let her go. Xiao Axian will definitely die if he stays with her. What's the point of knowing that it might be Xingdongqing? Gu Lingqing asked. His chest was heaving up and down violently. At least, we can be more vigilant against him. Moreover, now that we know the truth of that mission, the higher-ups will investigate further, and we can also protect Xia He. The mist in Bai Ye's eyes deepened. So I should thank you, right? Thank you for kidnapping my son, threatening my son's mother, and putting them in danger, Gu Lingqing said furiously. Bai Ye sniffled and tried hard to control her tears. Su Jiran has already agreed to let Zhou Hailan go, so she should be safe. You don't have to worry. If you're still worried, you can bring them back to live together. Su Jiran. Gu Lingqing was even more hateful. She held her face and asked fiercely, what conditions did you negotiate with him? You won't be happy until you make it big, right? Bai Ye stared at the hatred and disgust in his eyes. Actually, she did not care about sacrificing herself, as long as she could protect the people she loved, so she was not afraid in the face of death. But facing his accusation, her heart ached. I only said to tell him the news about Bai Ye, but I deliberately pointed in the direction of the South Pole, so he won't find out that I'm lying in a short time. Gu Lingqing let go of her face. What I feel sorry for is the former Bai Ye. I can't see her shadow in you anymore. You learn to lie without batting an eyelid, learn to commit crimes, learn to kill, learn to have no morals, etiquette, and shame, and Bai Ye doesn't know any of these. Bai Ye still could not hold back her tears. She wanted to cry because she felt wronged. But even if she felt wronged, she could not refute a word. She had read a real report from abroad before, saying that a dog and a Xiao Bao's baby were very close, and the owner often let Xiao Bao's baby and the dog stay together. One day, the owner came home and saw that the house was full of blood, and the dog ran out of the room covered in blood. The owner thought that the dog had hurt his son, so he took out his gun and killed the dog. When he returned to the room, he saw that the baby was safe and sound, and the python beside him was bitten to death. Only then did he know that the dog had fought with the python to protect the baby. Now, she felt that the dog had been sentenced to death because of the killing. So? Bai Ye asked. Let's separate for a period of time to calm down. I want to think about it, the current you only makes me feel afraid, Gu Lingqing said coldly. Was she afraid? Bai Ye lowered her eyes. She had cried too much, and her vision was not clear. She did not say anything, nodded, and turned around. Gu Lingqing clenched his fists, and the veins on the back of his hands were bulging. Looking at her thin and soft back, pain and pity flowed through his eyes, and his temples were throbbing. He turned around decisively, entered the room, and closed the door. Bai Ye stopped, turned around, and looked at the closed door. She cried out loud, and without support, she squatted on the ground, and her tears fell on the ground. I don't understand, President Gu, why did you treat Miss Wu like this? Even if Miss Wu was wrong, she did it for you, President Gu. She almost lost her life to protect Zhou Hailan, and Zhou Hailan wanted to kill her. Although she kidnapped the young master, he was unharmed, and it was just a temporary measure. She really did her best for you, Zhang Xingyu said on behalf of Bai Ye. Does it have anything to do with you? Gu Lingqing said coldly, and smashed the ashtray in his hand onto the ground. Zhang Xingyu's body trembled, and he puffed out his chest. Even if I'm scolded by you, I still have to say it. To be honest, even if we knew it was related to Zhou Hailan, we wouldn't dare to kidnap the young master. Only Miss Wu dared to do it. She did it entirely because of you. If it wasn't for Miss Wu, Xia He would have been identified as a spy, and those brothers who died on missions were all wronged. You are too biased towards Zhou Hailan, and you are too unfair to Miss Wu. You only thought that Miss Zhou might die, but you didn't think that Xia He would die. In fact, Miss Wu almost died too. I looked down on Miss Wu, and she took the bullet for Zhou Hailan. Chief, you shouldn't have treated Miss Wu like this. What else can I do if I don't treat her like this? She only wants to die now, and she won't listen to me no matter what I say. Gu Lingqing said angrily. He frowned, and a tear flowed down from his left eye. Zhang Xingyu paused, and he seemed to have understood something, but at the same time, he didn't seem to understand anything. Why does Miss Wu want to die? That shouldn't be the case. I think she loves you very much. Gu Lingqing turned his face away, and now he was regretting the answer he had given her. She had said that if she died, she would let him take care of their child, and fulfill her dream. He had agreed. He had said that if he died, he would let her take care of their child, and do the things that he couldn't do. She hadn't agreed. So now, she was risking her life, and she was crazy and determined. She didn't care about her own life anymore. She didn't know that if she died, he wouldn't want to live. Get out. Gu Lingqing ordered. He really needed time to calm down. Then, do we still need to protect Miss Wu? Zhang Xingyu asked. Chapter 439. Baiyu cried for a long time until she had no strength left. She stared at the ground in a daze for a while before turning to look at the villa. Gu Lingqing did not open the door at all. Was it useful for her to squat here? It was useless. She stood up. Her vision darkened as her blood sugar level was too low. She swayed a few times before squatting down and shaking her head. She tried her best to stay rational and not faint here. She took out a piece of chocolate from her bag and ate it, closing her eyes to cushion the impact. Her head was too dizzy. She could feel that her surroundings were spinning and she was about to faint. She forced herself to stand up and make a call. Shiniyan, locate my phone and send someone to pick me up. Why are you looking for me? Shiniyan asked suspiciously. I'll tell you when we meet. Baiyu hung up the phone and walked forward. She kept walking until she finally walked out of Gu Lingqing's villa. Her vision was getting darker and she was about to lose her sight. She held onto a tree and remembered that there was a chair nearby. She clenched her fists and walked towards the chair. She could not hold on any longer and fainted. After a long time, she opened her eyes. The sky was gray and it seemed to be 6 p.m. She sat up and looked around. She was in an unfamiliar room. She remembered calling Shiniyan before she fainted. Was it Shiniyan who brought her here? Or was it Gu Lingqing? Thinking of Gu Lingqing, her heart skipped a beat. She got up from the bed and opened the door. She saw Shiniyan sitting on the sofa reading the newspaper. He was wearing a black vest, looking noble and elegant with a noble temperament. His every movement showed the demeanor of royalty. As he flipped through the newspaper, he seemed to have noticed her existence. He looked at her quietly and curled the corner of his lips. His eyes were calm like a bottomless ancient lake. Baiyu looked at Shiniyan too. She knew that Shiniyan was a ruthless and decisive person. His methods were not inferior to anyone else's and he had a strong grasp of things. That was why he could stand out from so many candidates. Not many people had this kind of courage. Breakfast will be served in 15 minutes. Sit. Shiniyan glanced at the seat opposite him. Breakfast. So it was already morning. She had been asleep for a long time. She sat down opposite Shiniyan and looked down without saying a word. Shiniyan chuckled and put down the newspaper. The first time I saw you, I thought you were pretty good. A woman who could make the cold and aloof Gu Lingqing fall head over heels for you must have a high EQ. If I had a high EQ, I wouldn't have been chased out and needed your help, Baiyu said coldly. Shiniyan frowned slightly. That shouldn't be the case. After what you did, Xia he is innocent. There's nothing sinister to him. Anyway, Su Jiran should listen to you. Gu Lingqing has no reason to chase you out. Aren't you afraid? Bai Yi said coldly. Shen Yiyan leaned against the sofa with interest. What should I be afraid of? After Lu Shuang's incident was exposed, someone immediately set up Gu Lingqing. You should be able to guess why. Bai Yi narrowed her eyes and stared at Shen Yiyan. You suspect that I did it. I still need Gu Lingqing to balance the relationship with the others. There's no need to kill before anything happens, Shen Yiyan said coldly. Bai Yi twitched the corner of her mouth. I didn't suspect you. I just felt that someone coveted your position and that's why they started killing in advance. Who do you think it is? Don't tell me that you think it's Xing Dongqing. Shen Yiyan said in a low voice. I'm not sure whether it's him or not. But there's one thing. When Xia he was arrested after he came back, Su Jiran warned me that he would soon regret following Gu Lingqing. From his words, I think he should know about the plot against Xia he. Of course, I don't rule out that Su Jiran is well informed. I think it's more likely that he's the mastermind. Shen Yiyan pursed her lips and didn't say anything. Bai Yi couldn't read the message from his expressionless face. She raised her eyebrows. If Xing Dongqing told you about it in advance, then I'm a sheep in a tiger's mouth. If Xing Dongqing didn't tell you about it, then his wild ambition is obvious. Bai Yi, you should understand that there are no eternal friends or enemies in this world. Tell me, why did you come to me this time? You also said that there are no eternal friends or enemies in this world, but there are eternal interests. I help you clear the obstacles, and you ensure the safety of the people I care about. Shen Yiyan looked at Bai Yi with deep eyes and tapped her legs with her fingers. She studied psychology. She knew that this movement meant that he was making a difficult choice. She was analyzing the pros and cons in an orderly manner in her mind. Suddenly, he stopped and sat up straight. He stared at Bai Yi and asked, What do you want me to do? Give me a position that can attract their attention. For example, the cabinet. Bai Yi said lightly. The cabinet is a place for women. It's indeed suitable for you. But my wife has such a powerful background. She's always living in the cracks. Can you do it? Shen Yiyan was doubtful. Letting me in is your business. The rest is my business. You don't want to be controlled by others forever, do you? Bai Yi said firmly. I have another condition. Tell me, where is Lu Shuang? Shen Yiyan asked. She thinks that I betrayed her. Do you think she'll tell me? Now that she has disappeared completely, it's a good thing for her. She won't be in danger anymore. It's also a good thing for you. You won't have anything to hold against you anymore, Bai Yi said with dim eyes. She might not have the chance to see her old friend again in her lifetime. Shen Yiyan's expression was unclear. She stood up and said, Have breakfast first. It's not a problem to arrange for you to enter the cabinet. But you're pregnant. Do you want to reconsider? What? Bai Yi paused and looked at Shen Yiyan in surprise. Don't you know that you're pregnant? Shen Yiyan asked back. Bai Yi was a little absent-minded. She was actually pregnant. The doctor said that her period of delivery was from the 5th to the 10th. How could it be so soon? Could it be when she was in country X last time? Look at your reaction. You really don't know. I was thinking that if Gu Lingqing knew that you're pregnant, he wouldn't kick you out. It turns out that you don't know. Do you want to discuss with him before making a decision? Shen Yiyan asked. There's no need. I'll make my own decisions. You can arrange it. I have no problem, Bai Yi said firmly. Okay, wait for my notice. It'll take about a week. There's still something that needs your cooperation, Shanian said. Baya held her stomach, her thoughts drifting. Chapter 440. Moreover, she had taken medicine for a cold and fever a few days ago, so she might not be able to keep this child. Thinking that she could not keep their child again, a kind of sadness flowed through her heart. Perhaps it was God's will. However, that was not right either. She had been lying in the hospital for a week, and the doctor did not say that she was pregnant. When she came out of the hospital, she and Gu Lingqing had only been together for a few days, so it was too early to say that she was pregnant. After she went out later, she had to first go to the hospital to find out what was going on. Baya stayed at Shaniyan's place to eat breakfast. From time to time, he would look at her, and an indiscernible expression flowed through his eyes. He seemed to want to say something but was hesitant, as if it was taboo. In the end, he did not say anything and lowered his head to eat. Although Baya did not look at him, she saw all of his actions. He did not speak, and she did not ask. After all, the relationship between her and Shaniyan was very subtle. He saved her, and she was a friend of the woman he loved. Together, they hurt the woman they both loved. However, she should cooperate with him for personal reasons. After breakfast, Baya looked at Shaniyan and said, "If Su Jiran comes to ask about my identity again, I will confess that I am your person. I hope you will not expose me. We haven't even started, and you already want to sow discord between me and Xing Dongqing." Shaniyan leaned lazily on the chair and looked at him with drooping eyes. "Don't you want to give Xing Dongqing a warning? Besides, you can just deny it with Xing Dongqing. Su Jiran is not stupid. He is the person who is stuck between you and Xing Dongqing. He understands some things that should be said and some things that should not be said. Besides, the conflict between him and Gu Lingqing is much more than the conflict between him and you. What you need to consider is not the problem of trust, but the problem of your own interests. Su Jiran is so smart that he will not do something that harms others without benefiting himself." Baya confirmed. "I don't think I should have given you a position in the cabinet. I should have given you a position as a diplomat. Your eloquence, thinking, and keen judgment are all wasted." Baya suddenly thought of the words of the great master Gu Fa. He said that she was an eloquent person, a person who achieved great results by relying on words. However, she also stood on the path of killing. It seemed like he was right. He also said that she was destined to kill, but if she didn't deal with it cleanly, she would be the one to disappear. Therefore, when it came to fortune-telling, the benevolent saw benevolence and the wise saw wisdom. Baya smiled. There's no contradiction between being a diplomat and working in the cabinet. Perhaps giving him the identity of a diplomat to work in the cabinet wouldn't be too abrupt, don't you think? Shaniyan tapped on the table and smiled. "Maybe I can arrange it. Call me when you've arranged it. I should go too." Baya nodded and turned around. Shaniyan stood up and furrowed her brows. "You really don't know Lu Shuang's current address?" Baya stopped walking and looked at the big tree outside. The sunlight shone through the gaps between the leaves, forming mottled spots of light that danced in the wind on the ground. One flower, one world, one tree, one life. Everyone had their own fate. If you're fated to meet her, you'll meet her one day. If you're not fated to meet her, you won't be able to change anything even if you insist. Baya said meaningfully. Shaniyan looked at Baya's back. Based on his current condition, if he found her, he would kill her. Just wait for 2 more years, 2 more years. Baya walked out of Shaniyan's place. His side courtyard was very secluded. It was surrounded by trees and there were very few people around. The air was filled with the fragrance of flowers and soil. Taking a deep breath would make one feel relaxed and happy. She didn't forget that she had to go to the hospital for a re-examination. However, wouldn't Ying's men follow her? Baiya looked around subconsciously and found no one. Before she walked out of the door, a car stopped in front of her. The driver got out, opened the back seat and said respectfully, "Sir asked me to send you away." "Thank you." Baiya got into the car. "Please send me to the hospital." She did a checkup. Her HCG was very high, but her progesterone was normal. She was not pregnant. This might be because she had taken a lot of hormone drugs in the past 2 years, causing the data to be disordered. Baiya came out of the hospital and took a taxi to the International Hotel in City A. She checked into a room and lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling in a daze. She still had to go to Gu Lingqing's place to move her luggage out. She had to bring Xiao Qing out too. After all, it was her dog. However, after bringing it out, she would be very busy in the future and might not be able to take care of it in the future. This was also a problem. There was a knock on the door. She got up, walked to the door and looked through the peephole. It was Su Jiran. He would come to find her. She had expected it. She should face it. Baiya opened the door. Su Jiran walked into her room. Baiya closed the door calmly. "Tell me everything you know." Su Jiran went straight to the point. "Do you want a drink?" Baiya walked to the wine cabinet, took out a bottle of red wine from it, and opened it with a bottle opener. Su Jiran frowned, took the red wine bottle from her hand, took 2 goblets, poured the wine, and handed them to her. "I want to know everything you know about Baiya. She is still alive, right? My experiment failed. How did she survive?" Baiya took the wine that Su Jiran handed over, took a sip, and said, "Shinian sent Baiya out. He kidnapped the doctor in your lab and hired foreign experts, so she was saved. Now Baiya is gone, and so is Lu Shuang. What about you? What role did you play in this?" Su Jiran narrowed his eyes. Baiya curled her lips. "I am Shen Yan's man. Why do you think he asked me to come?" "Impossible. You exposed the matter this time. If the matter is exposed, it will only benefit Gu Lingqing. It will not benefit anyone else." Su Jiran didn't believe it. He realized that Baiya was lying to him. His eyes sharpened, and a murderous look burst out of his eyes. Baiya took another sip of wine, held it in her mouth, and swallowed it slowly. She leaned against the bar, shook the wine glass, and said calmly, "Why is it impossible? After the matter of Shen Yan and Lu Shuang was suspected, what did Xing Dongqing do? You hid it from Shen Yan and set up Gu Lingqing. You deliberately told Leng Ning about Xia He's whereabouts, so that you could kill Gu Lingqing. Why did he kill Gu Lingqing without Shen Yan's consent? Because he is also a president. I did this to suppress Xing Dongqing, and I could use Gu Lingqing to succeed. What's wrong with this? It won't affect the relationship between Shen Yan and Xing Dongqing." "You are wrong. The one who set up Gu Lingqing was not Xing Dongqing, but Su Jing," Su Jiran said in a low voice. Baiya looked at Su Jiran quietly, and a strange emotion flashed through her eyes. In the world, there were no eternal friends, and no eternal enemies. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.